Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Real Big Talk. I'm Rick, and that's Lola. The sun is shining. It's hot. It's not even, did you enjoy that 7 minutes of springtime? Because it went from snow 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks. We actually saw some snow. And now it is in the mid to upper 80s. That's unreal. We skip spring. I hate that. I love spring.
I love summer better.
Well, I guess I'd like to enjoy a few weeks of spring. And I mean, look, I'm thrilled. I'm not complaining about the weather. It's unreal. It is beautiful. The sun is shining. Anytime we get sun around these parts, we should celebrate that. But it was just so quick. The springtime was gone. I mean, we went from winter to spring to summer in a matter of about 2 weeks. So that's a really crazy thing, but it's good out there. It's real good. So if you're going outside, take us with you. We would love to come along. Also, we'd love to hear from you. 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600. I'm excited. The hockey game tonight, Penguins, Islanders, Game 3. Big win by the Pens in the last one. Nice stand-up performance by Tristan Jarry. He'll go again tonight for the Pens on Long Island, the Nassau County Coliseum. This is the last year for it. So obviously the Islanders have a lot to prove in there. The Pens, I think, probably are unlikely the best chance for the core of the team to win another Stanley Cup. They have the pieces. Goaltending is suspect. But certainly the depth, the scoring, and quite honestly, something I didn't see coming, the defense, to get themselves into a position to go for the Cup. But the Islanders not an easy out, especially as they say goodbye to their home building. We are going to play that game tonight, right, Lola? We got the Pens tonight?
No, we have WVU baseball.
Oh, WVU baseball's on tonight. Okay, so we've got plenty of sports, WVU baseball tonight. Also, I'm sure that you can seek out the Pens game. But if it's big stuff. It's big stuff for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I got an interesting text for those that have family members in certain nursing facilities. This is something that I deal with on a regular basis with my mom, and I got a big long text. They send, instead of an email, they sent out a group text. But I thought this was interesting, and I don't know if this is just a Pennsylvania thing or this is a thing across the country. But Medicare recently put out an interim directive requiring nursing homes across the country, so I guess it is a country thing, to provide education on COVID vaccines and provide the vaccine. So if you have somebody in a nursing home, apparently you're going to set up nursing home clinics for you to be able to get vaccine and also educate people on that. It's something that apparently they now have to do. It says you're not required to have the vaccine, but we are required to educate you about it if you have any questions, and then contact. I would imagine any powers that be over this are loading up in any direction to try to get people educated on the vaccine. And it's funny because most of the people that are worried about it or against it are getting their information from Facebook. Yeah. So it's like they have to reach out to nursing homes. Now, I mean, for me, it's no big deal. Honestly, they've never even asked for proof. I just told them I was vaccinated, and they went, "Okay, we believe you," and on I go. But I thought that was pretty interesting that nursing homes are going to have to start educating people on vaccines if you don't already have one. So I think maybe it's another layer of how to get people involved in vaccination.
Well, Ohio's hitting it out of the ballpark with that $1 million thing.
Killing it.
1 million people have gotten vaccinated just in the last week or so.
Yeah, they're killing it.
Yeah.
And if you're an Ohio resident, I don't think the first drawing is until next Thursday? Next Wednesday? I think it's 26th. So you still have time. You still have time. And you know what? If that's 1 million people that weren't going to do it, that did it, good for them.
And West Virginia's got the money. There's still a bunch of money from the very first CARES Act that the state has been sitting on. And that's exactly what it's for, is for COVID relief. So I don't know why, it continue with this savings bond thing. Take a page out of Ohio's book. It's working over there.
It wouldn't be the first time that West Virginia took a page out of Ohio's.
I wish they would take more pages, but,
Yeah, maybe they just plagiarize the whole damn thing.
Absolutely. Just send them a memo.
Yeah,
The interoffice memo gets sent to Charleston, too.
You know what? I will say this. We talked to Stephen Allen Adams yesterday, if you guys missed it, from The Intelligencer. Obviously, he's our guy when it comes to the inside political knowledge that's going down in Charleston. Not only does he write for The Intelligencer, but he writes for Ogden newspapers around the state. And he knows. I mean, he knows who knows. Whatever it needs to be, he knows where to go out and find that. And when we talked to him yesterday about the savings bond thing that you just mentioned, he didn't seem overly sure that that's how it was going to go. A week and a half ago, I think we read a story from Jim Justice who said, the vouchers are at the printers.
Well, that was for the gift cards.
Oh, that was the gift cards.
Yeah, again, I'm sure he was at his desk and just was rambling on. Somebody sent him a Starbucks gift card, and he went, this is a good idea.
Oh, yeah, gift cards.
Yeah.
So I don't know how exactly it's going to play out. I think the incentive, whether it be the $100 whatever or the $1 million lottery, I think every state has this money for this type of incentive that Ohio's doing. Again, Ohio leading the way in that opportunity. Here's what I think is kind of interesting, and I wonder if it's something that got tossed around and got shut down, or it's something in the works. Wonder why there isn't a national one. Wonder why there isn't just a federal funded lottery idea to where instead of each individual state doing it, there will be one winner in each individual state.
Well, because, let me tell you why. All these Republican states would go, it's just a Democratic ploy. They're making us spend money to run the lottery and yada, yada.
Yeah, you're right.
It's our right to do it any way we choose to do it. We're not going to have the federal government telling us what we can do and can't do.
Yeah,
That's exactly it.
No, you're right.
I know.
You're right. You're right. It seems like we find ways in this country to make everything harder
than it is.
Oh, my God.
And we fix things that aren't broke.
Yeah, and we certainly go after that. During the course of today's show, by the way, something that you and I talk about and both complain about, I did a little investigation and found out a few more things about what the future of the electric vehicle is going to be like. So we'll talk about that at some point in the show today. But Ford is doing something that, now, granted, for most people, it's unachievable, but for Ford, it seems like if they really do it, it's more manageable than I thought. So we're going to talk about that, the idea of moving to electric cars. That's going to come up in today's show. Actually, we have a full slate of things to talk about. Certainly more labor issues, some of which are erupting in this state. So we've got that on the way. When we come back, we're going to take our first quick break here. When we come back, we're going to talk about something that I stood up and applauded last night when I saw what Tim Ryan of Ohio did. And we will talk about that coming up here next on The Watchdog.
Hi, it's Howard Monroe. Busy day today on the Watchdog Morning Show as we talk about the Capitol Insurrection Commission approved by the House yesterday with the assistance of 35 Republicans, including Congressman McKinley in our area. Ohio Republican lawmakers pushing a bill to prevent businesses or agencies from asking about or requiring vaccinations. We talked about that. And the 17-year cicadas rising from the ground in some parts of the Mountain State. We had an expert on that subject. We'll talk about cicada art tomorrow, plus our Friday roundtable. See you in the morning. The Watchdog Morning Show begins at 7 every weekday right
Does your company's website work for you? Is it helping attract new clients and improving your brand awareness? If not, or you don't know, contact the team at Omni Strategic Technologies. With expert web developers, they build amazing web experiences that help their clients perform better. Contact Omni at 304-242-7600 or visit them at www.omniperforms.com.
Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, so come in and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you need, like a gas model RAV with up to $1,250 cash back, or a Camry with up to $1,750 cash back, or go with a Corolla and take up to $2,000 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great offers, to check out local inventory, and to find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Offers vary for hybrid models. See your dealer for details. Offers end June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places. Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, but where it goes is up to you. So come in and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you need to take on anything the season has in store, like a spacious Highlander or an all-wheel drive Venza hybrid, both with up to $750 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great offers, to check out local inventory, and to find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. See your dealer for details. Offers end June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places.
I'm Josh from Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. I hope you are staying healthy. We continue to respond to structural, fire, and water emergencies. We are combating COVID-19 with our highly trained staff and latest disinfection systems, providing preventative and reactive disinfection to facilities around the region, while working with area hospitals on isolation areas and air filtering. At Panhandle, we continue to follow social distancing and hygiene protocols. We are dedicated to our community, and together we will get through this.
Give us a call and tell us what you're thinking. Locally, 304-214-1600. Out of the area, toll free, 866-514-1600 or 304-232-TALK.
Day after day, I'm more confused. Yet I look for the light through the pouring rain. You know that's a game that I hate to lose, and I'm feeling the strain. Ain't it a shame? Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away.
Welcome back to the Watchdog. Rick and Lola here with you, 2:22 on a sunny Thursday afternoon. Feels good. Lots of stuff to talk about. Yesterday, Lola and I went in depth about how spineless Mitch McConnell is. I don't feel bad about it. Look forward to saying it again today. Spineless. And yesterday, we weren't sure you point of parliamentary procedure. Go ahead, Lola.
I'm just holding up my hand. Yes, Mitch McConnell. Yesterday it was flat out no. Now they're saying they want this commission isn't broad enough. They want it to include all political uprisings or protests, which would take it back to the Black Lives Matter and that whole debacle in Seattle. Nothing like when you have a commission like that and you're looking over a grand scope of things over a year that happened, different types of things. It's just to blur the whole thing up. You're never going to find out exactly what you need to know when you're dirtying it up with all this other stuff. You want to know about the protests and political uprisings over the summer that included Black Lives Matter, then that's what you do. You set up a commission to do that. But you leave this as a separate thing. All it is just an effort to, dirty up the whole thing, blur it all up so that there is no definitive, no definitive reason for having it, because it's just all inclusive. And this is just his way of guineaing out of having this commission go forward.
No, I agree. And I'll tell you what, as much as I hate the idea of countless commissions doing countless things,
I know.
I want that now. I don't want a grand commission to search all things. I want a bunch of commissions to search everything. Everything. I want to know what the hell did happen in Seattle last summer and how could we let that happen? Get a commission for that specifically. Specifically. Because that's not right either. What happened on the 6th of January is not right. What happened in Seattle is not right. Whatever in the hell happened in Minneapolis, regardless of the reason it started, the end result is not right.
That's right.
Multiple commissions concentrated on each individual thing, I can't be here for enough. But to muddy the waters and just say we're going to have a commission that researches these things, we'll be dead by the time that one commission is done researching all of these things that happen. They don't want to know. They don't want to know.
No, that's it. Because they're so afraid of where the finger is going to point next.
I don't even think they're afraid. I think they know.
Well, but
know,
they're afraid of it coming out in the public.
Yeah.
And it just boggles my mind. And congratulations to the 35 Republicans that voted for the commission in the House. McCarthy's another one. Just, he needs to just be gone. There are certain people that just need to be gone.
No, I agree. We are certainly going to give Tim Ryan his due here in a second, but we do have a phone call coming in.
It's Tom.
Hey, Tom, what's up?
The only sad part is there was a lot of things out of the 9/11 Commission that they missed. I mean, about stuff that the FBI and the CIA and the FBI are going back and forth. No, don't bust those guys. You'll steal our thunder and that sort of thing. And I mean, there was a lot of stuff overlooked. And no, but they put all these people from the airline industry, in on the 9/11 Commission. But I'd be curious to know who derives the commission. But
I think you're valid. I think there's no commission, regardless of what the commission is investigating, that's going to be 100% honest, truthful, and faithful to the project. So I agree. I mean, I don't know what they missed. I have no idea, but I know that this thing, so many people don't want this already that I feel like even though it is going to go through seemingly.
Oh, it should.
It absolutely should. Even though it seemingly is going to happen, I don't know that I'll ever fully go, you know what, I bet that's the whole story.
Well, but the whole thing coming out of all the right-wingers' mouth is Antifa. And sure, if you burn a dollar store or a police station, you should be prosecuted, absolutely. But they keep lumping it in there. But I guarantee you, those people that were looting the dollar store didn't have as many beans as all these clowns going in taking over the Capitol building. Most of these people were retired military people. I mean, they were on their third retirement or something, triple dipping and stuff. Coming in there, had everything going for them. They're not out anything,
No, Tom, some of those people were active. That's the scariest part. Some of those people weren't even retired. They were active.
Active military or police.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it would be one thing if you go and get selfies, if you're invited in there and get selfies with it, put your arm around Tom Cotton or whoever, but, I mean, to just come in and bash the windows in and say, yeah, but they did it. Look over there. I mean,
yeah. Here's the thing. I'm a guy that thinks
that's their only defense. I mean, come on, get off it.
No, I agree.
I digress.
I agree. See, I in my life, and I hate to say this because I know that I'm this type of person, and I know this isn't for everybody. I really am oftentimes a tit for tat kind of person. If you do this, then I'm going to do this. If you react this way, now as I get older, I find myself going, "Oh hell, I don't care." Like, just walk away from it. Like, I find myself becoming a more peaceful individual, which I think is good for me.
When I was in grade school, I can remember my teacher saying, well, if you were going to rip power off the wall of the Capitol building and ram a flag, a Confederate flag through the window and stuff, I mean, Why wouldn't they or something? I mean, seriously.
And that's the thing.
Fourth grade or not?
To me, these things are not. Now they're both bad. They're both real bad. But I don't think they're tit for tat on this. I really don't. I think
that's their defense.
I know, and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that is the defense for this. Well, these people did this, but those people did that. Here's the thing. Both sets of people, who are different people, by the way, are absolutely wrong in their actions.
Yeah, but those people repellent. The guy that robbed the Quickie Mart when they were burning to the ground didn't have enough money to buy the thing to repel off the Capitol building. You know what I mean? Or the tent and all this other stuff. The Winnebago they drove down in.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
is.
there's just a whole other class of people. What are they? What is their problem? I mean, seriously, really, you don't have health care? I mean, do you really even have an issue to do that? I mean, it was all about the election.
That part, yeah.
Anyhow.
No, I agree. No, I appreciate the call, Tom.
Hey, I was a member of WYEP for like 6 years, so I know where you're coming. And
Oh,
I
were
didn't
you?
mean to sound like a rock snob the other day. And
No, you're good.
I'm used to listen. Lois driving and listening to NPR. It was probably West Virginia Public Radio on Saturday night because they're really cool. But I mean, that's where I'm at, man. So I mean,
You be there.
I'm not a rock snob.
Be there for the music, buddy. I'm not mad at you at all. I'm not mad at you at all. Thanks for the call, Tom. He's something.
I just adore him.
Absolutely.
And no, Tom, I did not say that out loud.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's right. Now here's where the super conservative part of me comes out, and I'm okay with this because this is who I am. When I see that woman, and there's it's not a great video, but it's a very clear video, I should say, of a woman looting a Target in Minneapolis, and she's carrying out lamps. Yeah. Well, George Floyd dying does not equal free lamps. It equals a settlement for his family. It equals a court day for the people that killed him. But it does not equal you, Joanne Q. looter, free lamps from Target. And you know what? I think what happens to her who steals the lamps because she has no real concern about George Floyd's death but wants free lamps, she should go to jail. She should go to jail. Her picture is plain as day. Now, do I think looting a Target store is the same as breaching the Capitol? No. No, I'm sorry, but breaching the Capitol is in my opinion, a bigger, more devastating thing in America than looting a Target. Targets get stolen from constantly, and they have theft prevention and things like that. I mean, this is all part of being a retailer. These things can happen. I mean, it's not like you're expecting it, but when these things happen, they happen. Should they happen? No. I'm not saying they should. All I'm saying is the severity of destroying a Target or a Family Dollar is much different than the idea of breaking into and threatening the lives of people in the Capitol. Those are two different crimes. Both are crimes. Both should be prosecuted according to whatever the laws are they should be prosecuted to. And I don't think anybody should, now I know that they have, but I don't think anybody should make an argument to go out and find the people that started the Chaz section of Seattle, or Portland rather, when it was Portland. That they started this, autonomous zone and no police allowed, except when things happened in there. They of course called the police to clean them up because they don't know how to do anything themselves because they're idiots. So I think it's wrong on both sides. It's wrong on both accounts. I just think they're different degrees of crimes. Does not make one better than the other, but I think storming the Capitol, killing police officers, and threatening to kill the Vice President of the United States, worth a little more than the life of two lamps coming out of a Target in Minneapolis. Both of which are absolutely crimes. I think there are more people trying to figure out how to brush Minneapolis under the rug and people were mad, so they destroyed an entire city and police stations and things like that. And now you have people trying to push under the rug that someone threatened to kill the Vice President of the United States And whether you like her or not, someone threatened to kill Nancy Pelosi. Someone threatened to kill AOC. Again, I don't value her opinion, but I do value her life because I'm a human, and human lives are more important to me than stealing lamps from Target. The people I feel the worst for through all of the stuff in Portland and Minneapolis last year were the business owners whose lives were completely destroyed by the people who completely destroyed their businesses. You know, I remember seeing last year, there was a black man who owned a sports bar. He was a retired cop, actually.
Yep. Yeah, I remember him.
Sobbing because he put his life savings and his pension and everything into starting his sports bar. And the man is on TV sobbing in the rubble of his sports bar, and he's black, begging people to stop doing this for the rights of black lives. To me, that went, wait a minute. If black lives matter, which they do, why didn't this guy's business matter? Why didn't this guy's feelings matter? Him appealing to please stop destroying this city that I love, that I invested my life in. Stop. The difficult thing, I think, for people to wrap their brains around is it only matters in the moment. It only matters in the moment. Well, we're mad and we're not going to take it anymore. So whoever's in our way, you're going to suffer, even though your life also matters because my T-shirt says so. I think am I insane here?
No.
That part I don't understand. I don't understand. When you destroy the dollar store, well, people work there. That's their lives. The next day, they're not getting paychecks because there's no work to go and do because their store's in rubble. The destruction doesn't fix a problem. It doesn't. And I mean, it took me a long time in my life between self-destructive behavior, a bad attitude, and a hot temper to go, you know what? This doesn't fix anything. This doesn't fix anything. But the people in this the commission to look for this. I want to make sure we get to this before we go to the break. I thought the speech that was given by Tim Ryan of Ohio was just, it was the passionate speech we needed to hear. Well, maybe not us, because we were on board for the whole thing, but
it's the one that was ignored by a lot of people.
But it was the one that needed to be said. And here are the quotes. To the other 90% of our friends on the other side of the aisle, holy cow, incoherence, no idea what you're talking about, Benghazi. You guys chased the former Secretary of State all over the country, spent millions of dollars, and we have people scaling the Capitol, hitting the Capitol Police with lead pipes across the head, and we can't get bipartisanship? What else has to happen in this country? Cops, this is a slap in the face to every rank and file cop in the United States. What I'm reading doesn't do it justice because you should watch what he did.
No, he was very passionate.
He was. And I got to tell you, not that I knew that much about him going in, that guy's got my respect. Same with the 35 Republicans that said, look, we're on Team R, but this is just wrong.
There should be no team.
No, you're right.
In this.
Well, it should be Team America.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not. Yeah, I thought his speech was fantastic. I thought it was the speech that needed to be said by somebody. Good for him for stepping up and being, because, there was probably a lot of people, and this is my guess, and I don't know, I know we're getting ready to go to break, but this is my guess. There were probably a bunch of people that went, I need to give this speech. But he was the one who had the fortitude to do it. I want to believe there were other people that were willing to load that gun and fire it at everybody who was saying no to this. But he was the one that did it, and that earns my respect for sure. For sure. We'll take your calls on this after the break if you want to keep talking about it. We got plenty of subjects to come to. Dr. Cummings is coming in at 3 o'clock today. We're going to talk to him, so we'll have a guest in as well. But 304-214-1600, any of the topics today, We want to hear from you on the Watchdog.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News. I'm Chris Lawrence. Active cases of COVID-19 in West Virginia are now fewer than 5,900. That's the lowest number in about 3 months. However, the state did confirm 2 additional virus-related deaths today in West Virginia. State coronavirus czar Dr. Clay Mars says keep your mask handy. Even though things are looking good, these will still be needed in some applications.
You still need to pay attention as an individual, and certainly in more high-risk areas that they are still recommending wearing a mask. So it's not a complete change, maybe the way that people have interpreted it to be.
Kroger Corporation has changed its policy and will now no longer require a mask for customers who have been fully vaccinated. However, those who still have not gotten the shots need to wear it. Charleston Area Medical Center, however, continues its mask mandate for everyone. Workers, patients, and visitors need to be masked up at all times they are inside a CAMC facility. Governor Jim Justice's next media briefing on the pandemic is set for 1 o'clock this afternoon. You will be able to see it live at WVMetroNews.com. And later on this afternoon, the governor is set to make an announcement alongside West Virginia Parkways Authority Executive Director Jeff Miller. They'll be unveiling a new marketing campaign for the West Virginia Turnpike. That announcement set for 3:30 this afternoon at Tamarack. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. A merger for programs at WVU. The provost at WVU announcing today the College of Physical Activity and Sports Sciences and the College of Education and Human Services will be merging and creating a new college to focus on human and youth development. That merger coming after years of consideration and an analysis of similar programs all across the Big 12 Conference. The name and structure of the new institution will be announced at a later date. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on the Watchdog. I'm John Thayer. The first round of the PGA Championship is underway today at the Ocean Course at Kiowa Island. The purse for the PGA Championship is $11 million. The defending champion is Colin Morikawa. New York Yankees pitcher Corey Kluber threw a no-hitter yesterday as he no-hit the Texas Rangers in a 2-0 victory for the New York Yankees. The no-hitter was the 6th no-hitter this season in Major League Baseball. The 35-year-old's gem came one night after Detroit Tigers right-hander Spencer Turnbull accomplished the feat against the Seattle Mariners. One game tonight in the NBA, it's for the 8th seed in the East as the Washington Wizards play host to the Indiana Pacers. Download the Score app today, lightning fast sports alerts, so you never miss a thing. I'm John Thayer with the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on the Watchdog.
I'm one of thousands of women with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body.
I'm living in the moment and taking Ibrance palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy.
Be in your moment. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com.
Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
We need safe and secure elections. But Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senator Chuck Schumer are pushing legislation in S1 that would undermine West Virginia's election laws, taking away our power and putting Washington bureaucrats in charge of our elections. Their bill would allow partisan groups to collect thousands of ballots without supervision. That's currently illegal because it leaves ballots unprotected, without security, threatening the integrity of our elections. Worse, Pelosi and Schumer's bill would spend billions of public funds, your money, on political campaigns. Billions to subsidize politicians, even those receiving money from private donations. They want more money for politicians and more power for Washington bureaucrats. Call Senator Joe Manchin at 304-342-5855 and tell him we need safe and secure elections, not more wasteful spending. Tell them to stop the partisan power grab and oppose S1. Paid for by One Nation. www.onenationamerica.org.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-362-2000, 362-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. I'm a private real estate investor who can solve your real estate problems fast for cash. Do you want to sell and just be done with it? Okay, great. I buy vacant properties, boarded up houses, pre-foreclosures, and inherited properties. I also buy apartment buildings, rental portfolios, divorce homes. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. I look forward to solving your real estate problems today. Give me a call for an all-cash offer at 614-362-2000, 614-362-2000.
This is Bill DeFabio, your host of The Variety Show with Bill DeFabio. Heard on the Watchdog Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Join me from noon till 2 to talk sports, nostalgia, and hear from some of the legends of the game. You won't believe who I have on next. The Bill DeFabio Variety Show, heard on the Watchdog Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Tune in and get with the program. I'm Bill DeFabio. Join me for The Variety Show on the Watchdog. Welcome back to the Watchdog 245. Rick and Lola here with you. Thank you so much to Todd for hanging on the line through the break. Todd, what's on your mind this afternoon?
Oh, well, first, I apologize. I feel like I'm calling every day this week, but
Hey.
you got a lot of hot topics going on.
Yeah,
so
I mean, thank you, and there's hot stuff happening, and you are always welcome to call, so thank you for being a part of the show.
Well, thank you. I was calling about, two things. First, start with the insurrection and investigation, or those who are against it and all that. I feel like, how can somebody say Blue Lives Matter in response to Black Lives Matter, but then here's an instance where there was a police officer that died, others that were beaten and lives in jeopardy, and we're not even going to investigate it? Meanwhile, there are other folks in the country that are getting shot because the police feel that they're threatened. It's a bit hypocritical to me, and I feel like it creates, not doing an investigation creates more divisiveness. It almost, from an outsider's perspective, it might seem like, oh, as long as I'm in a group of largely white people and I assault police officers, it's okay. And don't get me wrong, I understand people are getting arrested, but nobody's trying to, expedite an investigation. It's getting, pushback and whatnot, and that bothers me.
It should bother you. It should bother everybody, and you're right. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news for everybody, but just so you know, in this grand scheme of things, certainly what's been shown by our government and our elected officials, no lives really matter unless there's something politically to gain from them.
Pretty much.
And that's a terrible thing to have to say. And I realize I have to be very responsible with what I say because I am, this isn't my own personal Facebook page or Twitter account. This is a radio station. But I honestly feel that way. I feel like if the narrative doesn't fit Black lives or blue lives, then the politicians really don't care. So now the Republicans really are stuck because a cop did die. And so they want you to push the Blue Lives Matter, which I believe. I believe in police officers. I am very pro-cop, and I'm also pro-Black Lives, which means you can't actually be both. That's the thing. I'm pro both. But I think the Republicans are going, well, it was only one cop. It was only one cop. I mean, come on, it was just the one cop. But the rest of the Blue Lives Matter, I mean, that's ridiculous. But that's what it feels like.
Well, you let one murder go unpunished, and that sends a signal of, hey, this is okay. It got away with it once. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. And I would argue this as far as I think you're spot on with No Lives Matter. I'm 44 years old, and in my lifetime, typically what we've had is 8 years Republican, 8 years Democrat, 8 years Republican, 4 years. Well, the parties have gone back and forth every election cycle. And every decade of my life, this country has had a drug crisis. The citizens are addicted to drugs, whether it be cocaine, crack, opioids. Follow the decades. Every decade, we are addicted to drugs. Every crisis. Every decade, the businesses have made greater profit margins. The cost of living has increased, and yet the poorer get poorer. I mean, back before I was born, one income could support an entire family, and now that's changed. And so I would argue that is evidence of what you say right there, that, well, let's just pick a hot topic that kind of fits us politically. We'll throw some breadcrumbs at it, and people will think that we're doing our job, and we can go on collecting our dark money and protecting our special interests instead of those of the Constitution and the citizens of the United States of America.
You're right, Tom. I mean, you forgot the hottest one.
Evidence of that.
And you forgot the hottest one, guns. Oh my God!
Oh, yeah.
Let there be a shooting so they have something to go back and put the gun issue back in front of everybody else. I mean, because really, when you think about it, the insurrection wasn't about guns. There were weapons. People took weapons in, zip tie guy and whatever. There were people that were armed with something, but this wasn't a gun thing. Now, obviously, when you look, and really, I mean, think about it. The George Floyd thing that created all the big Black Lives Matter movements wasn't a gun thing either. But what is the hottest thing that they can go to? And they can go, cops shot somebody, and so Black Lives Matter can activate. The government, the red side can go, well, cops are getting shot at by criminals. Let's activate. Everybody can go, well, there's shootings at schools. Let's activate. They need the drug crisis, and they need the guns. They need them. They're never going to go away, because what would we fight about? What would we fight about?
Well, you make a good point there, Rick, because how does 3% of the country control 97% of the country? Well, it goes back to Sun Tzu, Art of War, divide and conquer. When your enemy outnumbers you, you divide them and you conquer them. You get them fighting amongst themselves. They're too busy fighting each other to see what you're doing or pay attention to what you're doing, and Washington's a mess. It's been a mess for decades and decades. It's not going to get solved overnight. But conversations like this, shows like yours, whether locally, nationally, I wish more people listened to, more people participated in, and maybe we could steer a conversation into where we're having discussions instead of arguments and finding solutions.
Well, Lola and I appreciate the kindness and certainly that you listen, but and thank you. I mean, we do appreciate it, and you are welcome to call anytime and tell your friends. Tell your friends, because this is how conversations start. I mean, this is a community radio station. They allow me to talk about the subjects that I think matter. We've got so much local with Bill, obviously, and Howard, that I think it's a good time to get national on some things. I mean, we cover a lot of the state stuff too, but I think this is conversation that we can have, because it does affect Wheeling, it does affect St. Clairsville, it does affect Washington, PA, because it affects us as Americans. And if we don't talk about these things, if we don't call them out, the weird thing is, I wouldn't say funny, but the weird thing is, the idea of what is pushed to us, what were the people doing on the 6th? What were they doing on the 6th? They were trying to uphold the Constitution. Well, you said it. 3% of America runs 97% of America. We're stupid. We keep electing the wrong people, and we keep re-electing them after they prove that they were wrong. There's no reason, I mean, and this is down the line, there is no reason Schumer, Pelosi, Ted Cruz, I mean, these people have screwed up, I mean, exponentially, and yet it's like,
term limits.
hell yeah, let's put him back in. You know what? Mitch loves Kentucky. I don't think Mitch has been to Kentucky in, what did you say, 30 years? Probably. I don't think he cares about Kentucky. He cares about Mitch. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. He doesn't care. And so if we keep putting, I will say this, and I'll stand by this. I actually think Manchin and Capito care about West Virginia and not just themselves. I do. I think that they both look out for more than just themselves. Don't get me wrong. They're in it for themselves too. But I think I could absolutely say with confidence that Shelley Moore Capito, I absolutely believe this, and Joe Manchin actually care about the state that they represent, way more so than a lot of these people.
I can agree with that. Before I moved to Ohio, I was on mailing lists for both Capito and Manchin to get like newsletters and updates of what they were doing and whatnot. And I can agree with that statement.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly think Mitch McConnell sometimes forgets that he's from Kentucky. I think he just glazes over. Todd, I got somebody else on the line. Thanks for calling, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yep. Have a good one, gang.
Thanks. You too. Who we got, Lola?
It's Dan.
Dan, what's on your mind?
This is Bill.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Bill.
Oh, Bill, what are you thinking about?
Yeah, hey, Rick, this is a little bit off topic. You know, the way relations are in this country anymore, and with the way the liberals are and the conservatives, maybe it would be better down the line. Let's have two United States. United States of white people and Asians, and then we can have the United States of blacks and browns and liberals and loonies. And let's see what happens down the line 5 years from now.
Well,
I'm serious.
I can appreciate your passion for this, and I will say one of the topics that Lola and I covered a couple weeks ago is if you look at a map of America right now, a political map, it almost looks like you're headed towards, in some way, some states are passing laws that are very much very conservative, that are probably going to drive a lot of liberals to other states that are pushing their laws to more liberal. Look, I don't think there's a mass migration of anybody moving out of anywhere, but I think the lines of some, not too far off from what you said, I mean, maybe a little far off, but not too far off, I think people are going to find themselves moving to places that have the means to do it. Again, I don't think it's a massive number of people, but if take transgender laws that just got passed recently in West Virginia. Nobody that has a transgender child, whether you agree with or understand the transgender thing or not just you, but anybody, they're not going to go. They're not going to move to West Virginia. They're not going to move to Montana. I think who just passed that law in Idaho. So there are laws that are being passed that are essentially lines in the sand, in my imagination, are saying, this isn't the state for you if you are into this, this, and this, or if your lifestyle is this, this, and this. So, Bill, I don't know that I don't know that your theory is completely inaccurate there, my friend. I do.
You know what, Rick? Here's what I think. After 5 or 10 years, I don't know how we would divide it up because people would have to give up their home stuff. I think the left side would be nothing but a third world country needing aid from the right side. I really do. And it was Seattle that was partitioned off for the loonies. I lived in Seattle. It was a beautiful town at one time. But it's getting to be a mess like Oregon. And part of Oregon right now wants to become part of Utah. Did you know that? The western side. They've had it with Oregon.
I would imagine that that's accurate. I've been to Seattle and it's a beautiful place. When I was there, I said to Lola, I don't see me ever going back there for any other purposes. And again, it's not me just going, well, I'm red and I'm not doing it. It's just I don't know that there's anything for me there that feels like the vibe that I'm looking for. I mean, I live in Western Pennsylvania and I spend my time in West Virginia and Ohio for a reason. I feel at home here. Because these places, essentially all three of them, all three states, have been my home and will probably continue to be for the rest of my life. I think at this point, and I agree, and we're getting close to the break here, Bill, so I don't want to cut you off, so I just want to let you know that. But I agree, it does feel that way, but I think we can get better. I know we can get better, It's just going to take the right people to lead us down that path. Again, when you only have 3% of people, essentially governing 97% of people, it's always going to, until we get the right people, and I don't think it's one person, I think it's a group of people that are going to have to step up and lead us to a better path and at least a way to coexist. I don't need to love everybody. I'm not a kumbaya guy, but I am a guy who wants to live in somewhat harmony in the nation that I live in and be proud of it.
Hey, Rick, I'd like to say one last thing. Probably a majority of black people would say, hey, I don't want to live in the loony left. I want to live, with the people on the right. But it's your Al Sharptons, your Jesse Jacksons, and your Obamas who are stirring the pot, who are brainwashing all the, the underprivileged,
You're going to get cut off there, Bill. Sorry, pal. We got to go to the break.
All right.
Take care of yourself.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC.
Required President Biden signing the most significant anti-hate crime bill in a decade. The COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act passed with bipartisan support to address the rise in violence nationwide against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. President Biden says it will help everyone.
All of this hate hides in plain sight. It hides in plain sight.
That law designed to help give local law enforcement across the country the tools they need to better respond to hate crimes. Calls for a ceasefire mounting after 11 days of deadly fighting between Israel and Hamas. Israeli airstrikes today in Gaza City, Israel says, targeting the homes of Hamas commanders and military infrastructure. Today, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki responded to reports the conflict could be winding down and sides getting closer to calling a truce.
We have seen reports of a move toward a potential ceasefire. That's clearly encouraging. Obviously, we can't get ahead of any agreements that may be brokered.
The humanitarian crisis in Gaza growing after more than 200 deaths from Israeli airstrikes. A dozen Israelis have also died from Hamas-fired rockets since the conflict began. Police forces across the U.S. recognizing an advantage to having a force that reflects the communities they serve. ABC News has analyzed demographic data on police departments across the country. ABC's Pierre Thomas has more.
We have seen
in 99 of the country's biggest metro areas, the share of police officers that are white is larger than the percentage of white people in those communities. That's according to our detailed analysis of census data. And in 6 of those American cities and the surrounding metro areas, including Pittsburgh, Knoxville, and Spokane, the census data showed that 9 out of every 10 police officers were white.
Lawmakers in the House passing a $1.9 billion supplemental bill today to increase security at the U.S. Capitol. You're listening to ABC News.
At CDW, we get that a cyborg assistant won't make your employees more productive from home.
Please, call me Brian. I can vacuum your dog.
That's great. But at CDW, we can design a productivity solution with Lenovo devices that offer fast, reliable connectivity to help your people manage their workloads the right way.
Can I have a human hug?
No. For technology that moves you forward, trust Lenovo and IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Learn more at cdw.com/Lenovo Client.
I absolutely love my dog, but the constant shedding, not so much. But then I got a Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit, and it is amazing. These super thick cloths pick up a crazy amount of hair. Just look at all that. And that was from just one swipe. And the best part? Sweeper's so much easier to maneuver than a broom or a vacuum, easily getting around chairs and under the couch. You're right. Now I can focus on you, not your shedding. Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit, because shed happens.
Another drop in weekly jobless claims.
The number of Americans filing first-time claims for unemployment benefits dropped again last week to 444,000. The pace of layoffs has really slowed down around the country, and a number of employers are saying they can't find enough people to work. But 444,000 is still double the number of weekly jobless claims from before the pandemic. And more than 16 million Americans remain on some kind of unemployment assistance.
ABC's Aaron Katursky. An investigation finds a BBC journalist used deceptive tactics to secure the 1995 bombshell interview with Princess Diana.
The probe was led by a retired senior judge.
Among the findings, former BBC journalist Martin Bashir used deceitful methods to nail down the Diana TV interview. Those tactics described as being in serious breach of the state broadcaster's guidelines. Bashir's alleged to have used fake bank documents in order to gain access to the princess. The BBC interview was watched by millions at the time and sent shockwaves through the monarchy. Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
The BBC says it's apologized to Princes William and Harry. The remains of a lost village have emerged for the first time in more than 70 years. The northern Italian village of Curan once had about 900 residents until it was flooded to create a hydroelectric plant. Because the plant needed repairs, the lake was drained, exposing a church tower among homes. This is ABC News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work.
Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
This is ONN. Despite GOP leadership urging them to vote no, 35 House Republicans joined Democrats in voting for creating a bipartisan commission to investigate the January attack on the Capitol. Tracy Townsend with affiliate station WBNS-TV in Columbus has more.
During the debate, Democratic Ohio Congressman Tim Ryan delivered a fiery speech aimed at Republicans who are against the commission.
We have people scaling the Capitol, hitting the Capitol Police with lead pipes across the head, and we can't get bipartisanship. What else has to happen in this country?
Republicans say the commission should go beyond January 6th to investigate other political violence and demonstrations, including last summer's racial justice protests. I'm Tracy Townsend.
And the state's new Vax-A-Million lottery initiative is pushing many Ohioans to take action and get vaccinated. More from Angela Ann.
The Ohio Department of Health says ever since that promotion was launched last week, every age group, except for people over the age of 80, are seeing those increases in vaccinations. Friday, Sunday, and Monday saw the highest numbers each day in the past 4 weeks. So far, more than 1 million people have entered that state's Vax-A-Million drawing. Well, the latest data shows that overall, more than 43% of Ohioans have received at least one shot of the vaccine, and nearly 38% of Ohioans are now fully vaccinated against COVID-19. I'm Angela Ann.
And I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
More live and local programming than anyone else in the Ohio Valley. The Watchdog returns in moments.
Hey, man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey, Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Hello, I'm Chuck Reddick, Commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service. We're working hard to get ready for tax filing season. You know who else is working hard? Identity thieves. Keep your computers and your mobile phones secure. Use antivirus software and strong passwords. Look out for email scams. Secure your home Wi-Fi with a password. Stay safe when you shop online. Look for HTTPS in the web address. See irs.gov for details.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your Thursday. With intervals of clouds and sunshine, temperatures rise to about 85 for the daytime high, near 59 degrees for the overnight low under partly cloudy skies. A mix of clouds and sunshine for your Friday, with highs in the mid to upper 80s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors. He can talk up and down Route 2 and Route 7 at the same time. Just ask him. Keeping it real for your ride home. It's Real Big Talk with Big Rick on The Watchdog.
Good afternoon. I'm Rick. That's Lola. It is 10 after 3, and the first round, hour one, was it was a hot topic. There was no doubt about that. Thank you for the calls. We always appreciate them. This show is for you. 304-214-1600. 304-214-1600. The Watchdog is community for a purpose. You always have a voice, and that's why I was very happy to find out that Dr. Cummings wanted to come in today and talk about something that he and his congregation will be doing for the community this Saturday. And I got to tell you, Dr. Cummings, as much as I don't know you, Lola and I are both passionate about this subject for sure.
All right. Well, I'm very honored. And I've had wonderful discussions with Lola. Lola's a wonderful person. I call her one of my angels. So.
Well, trust me, this show isn't on if she doesn't do what she does. So she's one of mine too.
Oh, good. Yes, we are working towards, and we thank God that it is available in more and more areas, and we're by no means saying we're the only site that you can get it. We think that the Ohio County Health Department is doing an excellent job, and they're having clinics in various schools right now, even as we speak, Monday through Friday, to help vaccinate kids that choose to be vaccinated with their parents. What we were trying to do was come up with a different way that will make it even more convenient, trying to take away every excuse. Some did not have transportation to the Highlands. Some didn't want to be in a room with other people. And so even though it's been done in other parts of our state, it has not been done in our part of our state, is my understanding, to have a drive-through clinic. So you can actually stay in your car, give the information. They'll take your information in your car. They'll vaccinate you in your car. You'll wait for 15 minutes afterwards in your car. Then you'll be released to drive on, and you can be in and out within 15 minutes after you take your shot. They'll have health professionals there, the National Guard, as well as Village Pharmacy, and the governor's task force on vaccinations is doing this program. And when the governor asked whether or not pastors in local areas would help, we agreed, and we're very honored that they selected us to come and do this drive-through vaccination in our North Wheeling Community Dream Center parking lot.
Dr. Cummings, you have a lot of responsibilities, I'm sure, in your life, but being the spiritual leader for so many people, have you had a lot of, and I'm not asking you any specific examples because I'm sure that's very confidential, but have you had people come to you and ask, essentially, is this the right thing for us? Because, we've seen an interesting line in the sand drawn as far as science goes. But people are generally that are faithful to something and faithful to God don't lose that faith very often. So you had to probably be the cornerstone of a lot of people's belief in getting vaccinated. Is that true?
I think that you are absolutely correct. And I don't know that I have been convincing to all peoples, and I have people in the church who are vaccinated, and I have people in the church who are not vaccinated, and some swear they'll never be vaccinated, others swear or say they're still thinking about it or still waiting on it. I even have some members of my family who do not want to be vaccinated. I have chosen to been vaccinated, and my wife and majority of my children, but not all. And there, I don't want to bring up any negative subject, but there are some that just like they believe in some conspiracies politically, there's some that believe in some conspiracies concerning the vaccination. And we know that we do have actual history in the African American community where they were telling us that they were giving us a vaccine for one thing, and it really turned out to be a disease that they were giving us. And that was at the Tuskegee Institute. And we can't ignore it. It did happen. It is real. I don't believe that's what's happening now. That's definitely a horrible time in our history. For whatever reason, for whatever excuse, it did happen, but I don't believe it's a coordinated effort that's what's going on now. But I do have some family members and friends and parishioners who are concerned that either this is a spiritual, what they call mark of the beast, or it's a way to tag people, and they're putting some kind of enzyme in us that's going to come back 6 months later. I personally don't believe it. I think that if they wanted to know where we are, all they had to do is go into our phone, because our phone is telling them
ping your cell phone.
The phone is telling them wherever we are. And I personally believe that sometimes the government may be listening to our phone, so I don't know. But I don't think they need a vaccine for that. And I don't believe that there are in the health department across the nation willing people to intentionally do something wrong to millions and millions of people, no matter what their color. I do believe, though, whether you get, and not to turn this into a church service, I do believe no matter what vaccine you get, no matter where you get it, we will never get rid of needing God. And we'll always need the mercy of God and the grace of God. Nothing will trump God. So.
Well, I think that's there's a lot going on there. Dr. Cummings is here. No, but look, I was going to ask you about it anyway, and you brought it up. I mean, there is a big hesitation in a lot of people, but there is a big hesitation within the black community for absolutely what you said. Right. It's an embarrassing thing for our country to. I mean, and you're not wrong. I mean, everything you said was accurate. This country did not treat black people very well, especially at the Tuskegee Institute and that whole story. And if you're not sure what we're talking about, please look it up, because it's repulsive, and you would know why. Maybe some of your black friends and family go, you know what, this isn't for me. No, I can understand. I can understand the hesitation, but what it takes is it takes people like you to be the example and to say, look, this is something that I absolutely believe in. I mean, put it this way, and I hate to say it so harshly, but it is what it is. They're not going to pick a different needle if you come. They don't know what color you are when you register.
That's right.
They're not going to go, break out the ones for them. No, that's not how this works. But I can understand the hesitation. Even, I don't know what it's like, but I can certainly understand that hesitation. How is it that the black community can get over that, or get past it, or at least find some faith in what you're trying to do here? Because this, first of all, the drive-through clinic it makes it a lot easier. I mean, when I went and got vaccinated, I drove 85 miles from my house.
Wow.
And I got it in Ohio, and I actually live in Washington County, PA.
Oh, wow.
So it was that vitally important to me.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I first of all, I felt like I don't mind going first because I believe in the science.
Right.
And also, I wanted to protect everybody that I work with. Lola was on the same page as far as getting that done. So we both have been vaccinated for quite a while. And I feel like if something was going to happen to me, I probably would have seen it or felt it by now.
Right.
In fact, it had quite the opposite effect. I couldn't wait to, and now I did it safely, but I felt so much better about going to the store and being around other people. And then, again, you see, and you've been here before, Lola and I aren't even in the same room.
Right.
So, but we could all sit around together and talk now because we're all vaccinated. Like, I don't think people can truly, that are hesitating on the fence about it, as long as you believe that COVID is real, and that's a different story altogether.
Discussion.
Yeah, it's
Right.
another discussion. But
Right.
I don't think people understand. I'm sure you went through this too. There's kind of a little bit of a euphoric feeling going. 14 days after that second shot, I feel better about going out there in the world.
I totally agree with you, and I'm for those who are fully vaccinated to be able to take off their mask. I never liked the mask. I wore it, but I never liked it. I hope this doesn't sound too selfish, but I would like to be able to travel again. And
it's not selfish.
I haven't been on vacation for a couple of years now, so I would like to be able to do it again and take my family out. I'm tired of living in the house.
No, that's not selfish at all. I mean, that part of the now I get it. You have a much different job than I do, but part of life is being able to do exactly what you said. Go out with your family. Go somewhere. Get on a plane. You don't know me, but I travel a lot because I love it, and I haven't been on a plane in 15 months, and that to me is mind blowing. It's probably the longest in the period of time that I've been an adult that I haven't gone somewhere. I'm an adventurer. And I don't know when I'm going to do that, but I can tell you that I'm a lot closer to it than I am further away.
Yes, sir.
And I agree. That's not a selfish thing at all. And I would imagine with someone in your position, your job is already difficult, and then COVID probably only amplified how difficult it was. So if anybody needs to go on vacation, it's probably Dr. Cummings.
Well, that's very kind of you to say it. And I never thought about it until you just mentioned it, but I think this is probably the longest time in my adult life that I haven't traveled or been on a plane. I've been a missionary to Dominican Republic. I normally go there 2 to 3 times a year, a missionary to Africa, a missionary to India, and all those other places. And I have not been to one missionary thing in 15 months. I still support them financially as much as I can, but and I get calls from them, when you coming again? It's like, I don't know. But now that I'm vaccinated, it's more available to me than it was before.
I would imagine with so many people leaning on you for spiritual advice on top of now the pandemic, I would just imagine your job got that much harder.
It isolated people, and when people get isolated, we start to see things different. When I'm older enough that I remember there was a comedian by the name of Flip Wilson, and he used to talk about in the back, in the dark, in the corner of a booth, and that's isolation. And so when you isolate, you start to get new fears and noises that go bump in the night, and it makes things a little bit more scary. It's because you're by yourself. And when we were fearful of, are they asymptomatic, or do they have the disease and don't know it? And it's like, I don't want to be around anybody or anything. And we all isolated ourselves, and that's not the definition of community. Community is coming out and being with each other. And I understand the reason why we did it, and it was appropriate, but I'm praying that we can come out of it and get back to being able to speak to one another and be a community that we can help each other. We had people that terrible things were happening to them right in front of us, and we did nothing because we were scared of how it would affect us. So we're hoping that won't stay.
If you don't mind, let's talk about that fear a little bit. In this country, we have been facing a multitude of fears for a multitude of reasons.
Yes, sir.
And we get calls of every variety here at the show, which is great. I mean, this, if nothing else, opens up a line of communication to where maybe people have been, isolated or just kind of live in their own. Even if they could go out, they just maybe don't. They don't maybe circulate into a crowd that has multiple cultures and things like that. We are at a very strange point in our nation, a turning point. I think we all have the hopes for the best, but there is a lot of fear out there. I mean, we're going through something in this country with a lot of, whether it be revolution or evolution, things are happening.
Yes.
spiritually, how are we going to overcome our fears, whether they be COVID related or fears of anything else?
Sure, that's a powerful question. I don't know that I have all the answer for it, but I do know that some use the word fear as an acronym, meaning false evidence appearing real. And we need to know the truth, not to turn it into a Bible class, but the Bible says, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free or make you free in other versions. But we need to find out what real truth is. And I don't know that the internet always has the real truth.
I'm going to go with it does not. I'm going to go with it does not, Dr. Cummings.
So there are versions of truth on it, but I don't know that it has the real truth. And we are more and more dependent on the internet, and we are more and more taking it for the final say, and I don't know that it is the final say. It's the final say for that minute, and then it changes again. And so we need to discover what real truth is for our life, and let that truth be the light that dissipates the darkness so that we can really be free.
How do we get better at treating one another that we don't understand? Because I feel like that's a multicolor question. I feel like it's a multicultural question.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's a spiritual question. I feel like there's a lot of things there. And I mean, look, one of us in this room probably has the direct line to God. So I'm going to go with your answer.
Well, I don't know that I'm any better than anyone else, but I do know that anything that we're not up on, we're automatically down on. Anything that we don't have the information on, we automatically put down. And then we base it on prejudice. And I assure you, and I hope this doesn't sound wrong, because I know it's true, that anybody can be prejudiced. It doesn't matter what the color of your skin, it doesn't matter what your culture is. Anybody can be prejudiced. Simply means you prejudge. And the reason you're prejudging is because you don't have the actual information. So since I don't have the actual information, I'm going to take a judgment from another situation, and I'm going to prejudge this one, but I'm not going to actually look at the facts. And so communication, which is the line of business that you're in, I would like to think it's also the line of business I'm in. Communicating is the way we learn how to treat each other better. Usually when we start to talk to each other or spend time with each other, we find out the person is not as bad as all the things we might have thought, and we start to understand. I know that there's a controversy going on in Weirton, which is another city I pastor in, about the Weir Indian or the Red Rider,
the Red Rider.
or things of that nature. And so I hope this doesn't sound as if I'm mocking that in any way, because I'm not. And I'm proud to say that my mother was a Cherokee Indian. But one of the things they used to say is that you shouldn't judge a man till you walk a mile in his moccasins. And so we have a habit of judging people without ever walking a mile in their moccasins. We know what they did, but we don't know why they did it. Now, the right what and the wrong why doesn't always justify the what. But nonetheless, understanding what they did, that kind of helps us to deal with them a little bit better.
Yeah, I think, well, I mean, I absolutely agree with you. I think it's odd to me when other people tell people how they should feel. Right. I have no idea what it's like to be Native American. Right. I have no idea what it's like to be a woman. So for me to sit back here and go, well, the Red Rider is right or wrong, if a Native American is offended by it, who am I to tell them that they shouldn't be? I'm not Native American. Again, what do women do with their bodies? How would I know? I don't have a female body. I don't know. But I do think we see so much of that, of other people assuming they know what's right for another person. Like, right. I think about this, the idea, and we're here talking about to Dr. Cummings about the drive-through vaccine clinic going to be at the North Wheeling Community Youth Center, and we're going to, or at the Dream Center parking lot, so you'll be able to do that this Saturday. But I see people get completely sideways with people that are either pro-vax and I don't necessarily think everybody who's not pro-vax is anti-vax. I think they're concerned. There are some people really that are still on the fence about it.
Right.
And like, for example, I went to DeCarlo's to get a slice of pizza today.
Okay.
I was the only one in there that wore my mask.
Okay.
Now, I wore my mask just because at this point, I'm used to taking, and I just put it on and I walked in and went,
nobody else.
And so, I mean, I actually heard somebody that was sitting in a chair waiting for their order go, look at the guy wearing the mask. Hey, okay, look, it just at this point, it's going to take a little bit of used to just go, okay, I'm going in somewhere that that does not require this anymore. We need to just let people do what they need to do for themselves.
Absolutely. No, my wife has already proclaimed to me, and she's fully vaccinated, that she's still going to wear her mask. So, and that's totally all right. And if I need to wear a mask, I would definitely wear a mask. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not going to condemn somebody that doesn't wear a mask, and I'm not going to ask for their vaccination card either. But I know we're putting everything on the honor system, and I know everybody's not honorable, but we're trusting that they will do the right thing. But we have to let people come to it to their own volition, to their own way, and not to rush them, and to help them to be their best self. And I think it's out there. I think, I may be novice in my thinking, but I think the majority of people are good people. I really believe that. I like to believe that 90% of people are good people. But that 10%, that minority of those who want to do something evil or wrong, can cause a lot of issues, and we need to make sure that we do our best and pray for the rest.
Yeah, well, I think that's probably solid advice. Is our last couple minutes here, Dr. Cummings? Let's talk about what's going to happen this Saturday and how truly easy it is to get vaccinated, especially through the drive-through. I've heard of a lot of people, and I honestly I did not know that people felt this way until just recently. You don't know me, but the other part of my life is planning live events.
Okay,
I put on concerts. And so when I finally put concerts on sale, I got messages from people that were, this was before mask mandates ended. And the question was, are these really going to happen? And then a lot of the concern that I got back was, I haven't left my house in 14 months.
Right.
And, there's one thing to be able to go get groceries or whatever. And there are people that legitimately are afraid to actually go somewhere and get vaccinated. This is about as easy as it can get on Saturday.
Right. You're absolutely right. And that's our goal, is to try to minister to them. And I know fear has torment, but this will be from 11 to 1. It's 15 minutes of your life. I'm very happy that the governor's office said that they can come from any state. They can come from Pennsylvania. They can come from Ohio. They can come from West Virginia, obviously, and there's no residency requirement. There's no insurance requirement. You could even have a choice of which of the vaccines that you want to get. You can get the one and done, which is the Johnson & Johnson, or you can get the Pfizer, which is for 12 years old and above. And we're going to have a second vaccinating clinic in June so that they can get the second part of it. Of course, they don't have to wait. They can go to any pharmacy or any of those other things and get it as well. But we're actually bringing it to their neighborhood, or bringing it to all of our neighborhoods, hopefully making it a convenient place. You don't have to mix with anybody else, like you said, for those who haven't been around anybody else's house or haven't gone out and traveled. You can go out. It'll be right there in your car. You can listen to your own music and have your own party. You can invite whoever you want to be in the car with you to get the vaccine with you, or just to watch you get it. You can do whatever you want. And we're hoping that this makes our community just a little bit safer. Last year, we were blessed where we did one of the, we weren't the only, but we did one of the first drive-through clinics for COVID-19 testing. And we thought that this would be the conclusion of what we started last year. Last year we did the testing. Now we're doing the vaccine. In our history book, we're going to write, we did the whole circle.
Well, you know what? Thank you for your service to this community. We certainly appreciate it. This is a great opportunity for anybody. If you didn't catch something, you don't know the particulars, till 5 o'clock today and tomorrow, you can give us a call here at the Watchdog. I'll be happy to give anybody those things, 304-214-1600 is our phone number. So, Dr. Cummings, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for this opportunity,
yeah, for sure.
and welcome, and I hope your next 6 months or 6 years or 60 years will be great.
If I'm in here doing it at 104, Lola's got to stay here with me.
Hey, I'm all for that.
Lola's rolling her eyes. So thank you, Dr. Cummings. We'll be back with more here on The Watchdog.
The Texas Longhorns are back after a few down years. They are fighting for a Big 12 regular season title, and they'll have great seeding going into Oklahoma City. The Mountaineers have them. Game 1 of a 3-game series starting on this Thursday. Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Zangrilli. Ernie Galuski joins me coming up next for today's Mountaineer Report, presented by our friends at Kroger.
Did you know that 1 in 8 Americans struggle with hunger? Yet more than 40% of the food we produce is thrown out. At Kroger, we know we can do something about this. We're donating more food to local food banks through our partnership with Feeding America. And we're working with World Wildlife Fund to end food waste. But we can't do it alone, and we hope you'll join us in creating a world with zero hunger and zero waste. Visit thekrogerco.com to learn how you can help.
Love getting prices that are lower than low on backyard favorites like grill-ready hamburgers and fresh-picked strawberries? Then shop at Kroger. We give you more ways to save on the fresh you love with tools like the Kroger app, where you can find personalized coupons on top of weekly sales. Plus, rewards like fuel points, giving you prices that are lower than the everyday low. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
So, Ernie, it is West Virginia and Texas coming up this evening from Dish Falk Field. Augie Garrido retires, and then the Texas Longhorns, they have a few down years. The Mountaineers have really played some good baseball against them over the last handful of seasons, 4 or 5 years, but they've been long waiting in Austin for Texas baseball to return to prominence, and whether it's Roger Clemens' kids coming in, they've always got the best recruits. They have Ty Madden, one of the most highly touted right-handers, as their top of the rotation guy. Texas baseball is back, and it's back in a big way.
Yeah, and the Texas baseball brand is known by everybody, but remember this, the Mountaineers have always played well in Austin. They've went in there and snuck some victories away from the Longhorns, so don't be surprised if the Mountaineers show up ready to play and they make it a very good series.
Why do you suppose that's been the case? Because that always happens, I think, in not only just baseball, but clearly football, the Will Greer, Gary Jennings game, basketball, WVU and Texas have played some really good ones down to the wire. Baseball, no different.
Yeah, because it's Texas. These kids grow up and they know Texas is very prominent in college baseball. It's one of the best atmospheres in all of college baseball. The stadium should be electric and then plenty of fans, and I think it just brings out the best of any visiting team that does visit Austin and play the Longhorns in baseball.
So it's going to begin at 7:30, airtime 7 o'clock right here on MSN Radio, and then we'll play it tomorrow, Friday, and then Saturday afternoon before West Virginia is off Sunday and Monday, before we play in the Big 12 tournament opener on Tuesday. That's today's Mountaineer Report, brought to us by Kroger here on MSN, the Mountaineers.
This is your VSiN action update on the Watchdog. Simple Green is perfect for making your auto, RV, cycling, boating, and other sporting equipment look like new. Visit them at simplegreen.com.
The Penguins visit the New York Islanders for Game 3 of their East Division first-round series. Penguins -105, Islanders laying $1.15. 5 over the total at Barclays Center. Series even at 1 game each. Evgeny Malkin is a game-time decision. He missed the first 2 games with an undisclosed injury. 28 points, 8 goals, 20 assists in 33 games this season for the Penguins. Baseball, the Pirates open up a series at Atlanta as a $1.75 underdog with Will Crowe on the mound. Drew Smiley for the Braves, laying $1.90 as the favorite, 8.5 under at Truist Park. The Pittsburgh Pirates looking to end a 3-game losing streak.
For VSiN.com, I'm Mike Sennett on the Watchdog.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to
Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer. So come in and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you need. Like a gas model RAV with up to $1,250 cash back. Or a Camry with up to $1,750 cash back. Or go with a Corolla and take up to $2,000 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great offers, to check out local inventory, and to find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Offers vary for hybrid models. See your dealer for details. Offers end June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places. Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, but where it goes is up to you. So come in and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you need to take on anything the season has in store, like a spacious Highlander or an all-wheel drive Venza hybrid, both with up to $750 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great offers, to check out local inventory, and to find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. See your dealer for details. Offers end June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places.
Hi, it's Howard Monroe. Busy day today on the Watchdog Morning Show as we talk about the Capitol Insurrection Commission approved by the House yesterday with the assistance of 35 Republicans, including Congressman McKinley in our area. Ohio Republican lawmakers pushing a bill to prevent businesses or agencies from asking about or requiring vaccinations. We talked about that. And the 17-year cicadas rising from the ground in some parts of the Mountain State. We had an expert on that subject. We'll talk about cicada art tomorrow, plus our Friday roundtable. See you in the morning. The Watchdog Morning Show begins at 7 every weekday right here.
One thing I said that I would never do. A look from you and I would fall from grace, and that would wipe the smile right from my face. Do you remember when we used to dance, and incidents arose from circumstance? One thing led to another, we were young, and we would scream together songs unsung. It was the heat of the moment, telling me what my heart meant. The heat of the moment showed in your eyes, and now you find yourself in 82. The disco hot was
340 here at the Watchdog. Rick and Lola with you. 304-214-1600, the phone number. Find us online. You could go to our website, watchdognetwork.com. You can watch the show live there on our YouTube page, or you can watch it live on our Facebook page. You can just, if you like the Facebook page, you'll be notified every time the shows go live, so you can tune in and join in. From there, you're welcome to send messages too, comments, all that kind of stuff. Boy, Dr. Cummings is a nice fella, isn't he? I mean, just...
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
You know,
just the guy lights up a room. You know, he just came in here, his smile's infectious, and just wants to help people. That's, to me, that is exactly who you want in your community. That's exactly who you want in your community. If you do have any questions about this too, Dr. Cummings left me all the information about this coming up Saturday, the COVID vaccine drive-through clinic. So if you've been hesitant, you don't want to take the time, you just, it's so easy. You don't even have to leave your car. That is super easy. Why did they invent drive-throughs? So you don't have to leave your car. This is exactly the same thing. It's just bettering your entire community by you getting vaccinated. And you have your choice if you want the one-shot Johnson & Johnson or Pfizer for anybody 12 years and older. If you're under 18, you do need to bring a guardian, but this is a great opportunity for kids that are getting into the final phases of school here. You're going to head into summer. I know you want to hang out with your friends and do all that kind of stuff. If that's what you, if you and your parents have decided that's the decision to make for you, the drive-through clinic is happening this Saturday at the North Wheeling Community Dream Center parking lot. So get in on that. Speaking of, I don't want to get overly COVID-y, but while we were talking, the first hour flew by, and then Dr. Cummings was here, so we didn't get a chance to circle back to this. But Jim Justice did address the state of West Virginia today, and your gift cards are available, Lola. Ohio giving you a chance at $1 million for 5 straight weeks. West Virginia giving you a gift card. Jim Justice did say this afternoon the state is operating and opening its registration for its vaccine savings bond and gift card program. That is going to start today. So it should be up and running. I have not gone there yet to click on it because I am not eligible for two reasons. But the governor says West Virginians between the ages of 16 and 35, which again, why does everybody else get hosed? There's plenty of money.
I know.
That doesn't make any sense. If you're 65 and over, it's not like you're not on a fixed income and couldn't use a $100 gift card. Maybe the savings bond, maybe that's not going to help you, but the gift card sure would.
I got on TRF's website and I clicked on the first story that was there. And it was just talking about savings bonds. So I don't know. But it doesn't matter. I can't get it. I did the responsible thing, so I don't get any prize, I guess.
Yeah, I to me that seems. Look, at the end of all of this, there are opportunities for everyone to make their community safer. Now, granted, I can see that the large percentage of people that are going to go out and be the most active are in that age range. But Lowell, you go out every weekend. You go to dinner. You go to hockey games. You're out. I go out every week. I'm not in that age bracket either. I'm going to be around, literally thousands of people this summer at events. I don't understand the point of not letting everyone in on this with these age restrictions. It's baffling.
I just felt it was my own personal responsibility, my civic duty to do this. And I must admit, I feel a little put out that you have to bribe people to do the right thing. But it is America, and that is how we tend to get things done, this instant gratification thing. And I am befuddled. The whole thing. I don't know.
I agree. You got Ohio that went go big or go home. We're going to send kids to college, and we're going to give just regular citizens, because I don't think there's any age restrictions on theirs, is there? On the Ohio vaccine lottery. I think if you're under 18, it's a college scholarship. And if you're over
18, it's $1 million.
But not to 35, but to just infinity. I think, I'm pretty sure that's how. West Virginia actually comes off looking cheap. Well, insert here. Whatever you guys think about that. But I feel like after what we're seeing out of Ohio, I think a lot of states, Pennsylvania doesn't even offer, or hasn't at least to this point.
No, but you can go to the Pirates game or Penguins game.
Yeah, well, Yeah, well, to go to the Pirates game is one thing, but I'm just happy to be vaccinated. But yeah, I agree. I'm a little put out by it too. We got Bob on the line from WTRF. I'm sure that the folks at WTRF will have all the information about this and everything else. What's going on, Bob?
Not much going on. What's going on with you guys today?
Actually, we've had a pretty full day, a lot of conversations, a lot of phone calls. We know the big vaccination drive-through clinic at the with Dr. Cummings over at the North Wheeling Community Dream Center parking lot's going to happen. So he just stopped in, but we're seeing this thing about the gift cards rolling out in West Virginia. Governor Justice had that to say today.
I did see that. Yes, he mentioned that earlier today in his press conference. Of course, our guy Mark Curtis was there, and we will have that. We'll have that story and all the details at 5:30, and 6. So, very interesting. Looks like the governor is rolling forth with trying to help people get them all vaccinated. So we'll have the details here in a little bit, and obviously they're already online.
Yeah, no, I saw that. it was weird because yesterday when we had talked to Stephen Allen Adams from the Intelligencer, he wasn't sure how this was going to, if it was going to be something that went. And then I was actually surprised that it's actually up and running today.
Yeah, so they're gearing for that. So I'm not sure how the gift cards work compared to $1 million from the state of Ohio. But,
yeah.
Not real well.
Yeah, not real well.
I know I registered, so I'm ready to go. So
excellent.
But yeah, we will have the details on exactly what is going on and when those gift cards and when people can start expecting to see them.
Excellent. What else you working on for tonight?
All right, we've got an arrest in the Easter Sunday crash, the fatal crash that happened on 470. Wheeling Police announced that they've got a Francie Cologne Fermin out of Allentown has been arrested. He's been charged with negligent homicide. As you remember, that was a multi-vehicle crash on 470. So he has been arrested. He is in Allentown right now, Pennsylvania. So he will have to be extradited back to the state of West Virginia to face those charges. So I know that was a horrible crash. I know our internet guru here, Karen, was here for the weekend on that one, and that tied up both interstates for most of the day. So there has been arrest, and we'll continue to follow that story out of Pennsylvania. So we've got that, and then a few other things today. It's good. Breaking news after breaking news. The man who robbed the bank in Steubenville has been arrested. Lloyd Christian. He was arrested in Columbus by Columbus PD and U.S. Marshals. So we have that information. So again, there's another one that will be coming back to the area. So marshals and the Columbus PD doing their job. So he's facing aggravated robbery charges. So got that breaking news. That just into our newsroom. One more thing into our newsroom real quick. A New Marshall man has been sentenced for gross sexual assault and child neglect. Man got 210 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
I put him under the jail.
Yeah, no, it was sentenced today. Today. Not less than 52 or no more than 210 years. John Wesley Blake. 3 counts of sexual assault in the first degree, 4 counts of gross child neglect, risking death. So, yeah, he's going away for a while.
Good.
So, yeah, we had 3 breaking news stories probably there within an hour of each other. So it's newsroom, needless to say, has been hopping today.
I would say so, and we will catch all those stories tonight at 5. Thank you so much, Bob. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, this is Justin.
Hi, Justin. Welcome to the show. What's on your mind?
Hey, I just want to get your opinion real quick.
Okay.
Let's say I want to go into Walmart and I don't have a mask on, and they ask me if I'm fully vaccinated. Is that not a violation of the HIPAA laws? Honestly, no, it doesn't seem like there's any actual rules or guidance on that I have seen. Lola and I had a conversation yesterday about if saying you're vaccinated when you're not is a crime. And I don't know, there's no legislation for it, I suppose, so it's not a crime. But what is and has become a crime is people are selling fake vaccine cards and people are presenting those. I think that is actually a crime. So that's a good question. I don't know the answer to it. Well, I mean, you can't come out, like if you own a business and I want to come in there, you can't come out and say, do you have AIDS? Do you have this? Do you have that? You can't ask me that.
No, you can't. I would imagine, and I know this sounds like a very stupid question, or a very stupid statement, but I think this is probably right now what the rule of thumb is. If it's not a law, but maybe the rule of thumb. Because somebody told me, we had somebody call in the other day, Lola, and said that he was on his way into Target. Was it? And they said, "Are you vaccinated?" And he said yes, and he just went in and
Pulled out his card and showed him.
Yeah. So I mean,
no muss, no fuss.
Yeah. No. So I think the idea is it's probably got to be posted on the door. I think that there are some businesses that are still going to require masks, and I think some businesses are going to require asking if you are in fact vaccinated. I think it's the onus is going to be on the business, I think, to ask those questions. So as long as it's posted, you have the right to go, I'm not answering that question, so I'm not going to go into that store.
Or I'll put on a mask.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Either you don't come,
Oh, go ahead, Justin.
I had a funny incident with a coworker at work.
they said, oh, they can't make me get the vaccination, like the government or whatever. I said, well, you can't go to concerts unless you get it 20 minutes after they go off work, they were getting vaccinated.
Yeah, well, I think that's here's what I see happening. I mean, yeah, it's dramatically slowed, and our buddy Mark always sends me the what's going on with their stuff and their press release in Marshall County. So I mean, and we obviously follow this story a lot. I mean, it's really the biggest story in the world consistently, and I think that we're going to see people are recognizing that millions and millions of people have been vaccinated with zero issue. Even if they hate the idea of getting it, and certainly everybody hates the idea of being forced to do something. If you tell me I have to do something, I am less likely to want to do it. But the carrots are being dangled now of, well, there are certain things that you're not going to be able to do. Now, those people that don't want to get vaccinated can be very mad about that, but at the end of the day, if a stadium requires it or if someone requires it and to do something that they want to do and they have to do it, I think that's going to be, even though it's begrudgingly, incentive to do so. What do you got, Lola?
Oh, it's just, if you want to travel, if you want to go, out of the country, you have to be vaccinated to go to certain countries. Nobody ever kicks about that. You're going, you get vaccinated, it's on your passport, and you go.
Yeah.
And no one ever says anything. And somebody posted a thing today on, one of my cousins. And it was, you eat hot dogs, you eat bologna, you eat nuggets, and nobody questions about what's in those things. And you're probably better off questioning that than what's in this vaccine.
I do. I think I trust science more, Justin, than I do the good people making 99-cent ring bologna. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. But yeah, that's a good question, Justin. I don't know what the actual answer is or what the rule is, but I'd say the rule of thumb is if it's posted on the door, then you have the right to not walk in if you don't want to answer those questions.
Yep, you have a good day.
Thanks, Justin.
I'll get back to mowing grass.
All right, buddy.
Have a good one.
Get at it. Well, that's a hot day to mow grass. Whew. But I guess
if you got a rider that has a little cooler on the back, and
I forget that you do everything nice and smooth. To me, I would be out there dogging it, trying to get it done as quickly. Lola, you would probably be perfect on a riding lawnmower, maybe a straw hat and a Strohs.
Yeah.
They'd get it done.
Not a Strohs, but some liquid refreshment.
Do they still even make Strohs?
I don't know. The Strohs plant in Detroit's been shut down for a long time, but that's how I always remember. You come through, you get through downtown, and just as you're getting on 94, you're going on to 75, there was a big Strohs sign, I don't think that plant's open. I don't know if they make it anymore.
Yeah,
I never partaked in Strohs.
If my dad had it and I could steal it, that's what I took.
Well,
that was what
that's true. That's true.
Just since we're getting ready to go to the break anyways, it's kind of funny. My friends and I get together to watch the Penguin games, but a lot of my friends live on the other side of Pittsburgh, so I don't necessarily go there to watch all of them where they all get together. And right now, my friend, a couple times we went to this small little out-of-the-way bar near his house, and they serve Ham's beer. Have you ever heard of this?
Yes, I have. I've not had it, but I've heard of it.
Doesn't sound like you're missing anything. I've not had it either. But as a joke, because one night they had $1 Ham's beer for on special because they were just trying to get rid of it. Well, my friend, look, he's not going to be one to turn down $1 beer. And so he drank a couple of these things, and the Penguins won.
Okay, so now it's a...
We went back a couple weeks ago, right before the end of the season, drank a couple Hams, and they won. So now, and right now in the group chat for me, everybody's talking about going to the game, to watch the game tonight, and it's all about the Hams. So I know Hams is probably not a beer that anybody would go, you know what, I really like those. But that's now the official beer of getting the Penguins through the playoffs in my group. They're just drinking Hams. Oh. And I mean, they look unhappy while they're doing it. I'm not going to lie. It's just like,
After a couple, who cares?
Well, the theme of this crowd is just keep going until you can't taste it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's kind of the ongoing joke. We'll remind everybody, too, as we get ready to get to the top of the hour break here. The Penguins do play tonight against the Islanders. Series is tied 1-1. It is a possibility that Evgeny Malkin gets back in the lineup tonight. In your mind, what's that?
Haven't we been saying that for 3 weeks now?
Well, yeah. I mean, he came back for the end of the regular season games, probably pushed himself too hard. And the Pens had, almost a week and a half break between their last regular season game and the beginning of the playoffs. But Malkin could play tonight in Game 3. Here's the thing, though. The Penguins, even though they didn't win Game 1, I mean, they scored 3 goals. They had bad goalie play. They really played well enough to win Game 1. Game 2, they won with great goalie play and not scoring a lot of goals. But Jeff Carter's playing in that second line, and he is making moves. So, you don't sit a player like Evgeny Malkin, but I think if he needs another day or 2 or 3, I think right now I would rest him. I mean, I hope he's ready. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely hope the guy is ready to come back. Because I do think this is a possibility that this is that core's last run together. I don't know that they all stay together when this season is over, but Letang, Malkin, and Crosby, they could be chasing their last cup as a trio of Pittsburgh Penguins. I think Crosby goes nowhere ever. I think Letang retires as a Penguin. I think Malkin, there is a chance that he could go somewhere else. So, I mean, I want to see him in the lineup. I want to see him making an impact. I just don't know exactly how that is all going to play out. But Penguins tonight, we will have WVU baseball on tonight too. So if you're looking for the baseball game, we'll have it right here on the Watchdog. We'll go ahead and take our break as we get into the 4 o'clock hour. This show's flying by. Thanks for the calls, and we'll take more.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. After 11 days of deadly airstrikes and rocket fire between Israel and Hamas, there is a ceasefire. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in a statement, says the Security Cabinet has, quote, accepted the recommendation of all security officials to accept the Egyptian initiative for a bilateral ceasefire without any conditions. The Associated Press is reporting that ceasefire will begin sometime early Friday. It follows deadly fighting between Israel and Hamas and growing international pressure, including by the U.S. for a ceasefire, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza intensifying after more than 200 Palestinian deaths from Israeli airstrikes. A dozen Israelis have also died from Hamas-fired rockets. No response yet from the White House. Today, President Biden signing the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act into law. The new regulations come after an alarming increase in violent acts against Asian Americans during the pandemic.
My message to all of those who are hurting is we see you. And the Congress has said, we see you. And we are committed to stop the hatred and the bias.
The bill introduced following the Atlanta shooting spree at several Asian spas that killed 8 people, 6 of them of Asian descent, and a series of violent attacks from San Francisco to New York on Asian Americans. A day after the House passed a bill to create a bipartisan commission to investigate the January 6th attack, it's now in the Senate.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi commended the 35 Republican members who voted with Democrats to create an independent bipartisan commission to investigate the January 6th insurrection.
I'm very proud of them, and it was a recognition that this was a bipartisan product.
But asked if he's worried about those GOP defectors, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, who voted against creating the commission, answered this.
No, not at all. I thought it would probably be higher.
ABC's Elizabeth Schulze reporting. You're listening to ABC News.
Microban 24 protects against Staphylococcus aureus and Enterobacter aerogenes bacteria, but does not provide 24-hour protection against viruses. Every time you touch a surface, you leave behind bacteria. Use Microban 24 sanitizing spray to keep surfaces sanitized all day. Spray on hard surfaces to kill 99.9% of bacteria and viruses initially, including the virus that causes COVID-19. Microban 24 keeps killing bacteria for 24 hours, touch after touch. When used as directed, Microban 24, touch after touch, it doesn't give up.
Gotta finish this today.
Cristiano's construction projects typically run smoothly, but this project's pipeline is about to burst.
Yo, boss, where you want us to put this? To the left. Your other left. John.
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Another sign that COVID is declining in California. An iconic fixture during the pandemic is going away.
It's the end of an era at Dodger Stadium, which went from the country's biggest COVID testing site during the pandemic with long lines of cars to then a mass vaccination site. 1.3 million vaccine shots were given at Dodger Stadium. But now with vaccine available in many more places and COVID numbers declining rapidly here, the vaccination site at Dodger Stadium is shutting down. The parking lot will be used for actual baseball parking now that crowds have returned to games. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Internet Explorer gets ready to unplug. Here's ABC's Jim Ryan.
It's the end of the line for an online icon, one that is probably sitting on your desktop right now. Microsoft says support for its old web browser, Internet Explorer, will officially come to an end in June of 2022.
Explorer will be replaced, though, with Microsoft Edge, which debuted in 2015. Edge is a faster and more secure browser, according to the company. The world's largest iceberg has broken off in Antarctica. That iceberg, around 105 miles long and 15.5 miles wide, is nearly 6 times the size of New York City. Scientists, though, aren't attributing this break-off to climate change. They believe it's part of the natural cycle of iceberg calving in the region. This is ABC News.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The new Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed is the only bed that effortlessly adjusts and responds to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. During our Memorial Day sale, save $1,000 on the new Sleep Number 360 Special Edition Smart Bed, Queen, now $17.99, only for a limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
This is ONN. Despite GOP leadership urging them to vote no, 35 House Republicans joined Democrats in voting for creating a bipartisan commission to investigate the January attack on the Capitol. Tracy Townsend with affiliate station WBNS-TV in Columbus has more.
During the debate, Democratic Ohio Congressman Tim Ryan delivered a fiery speech aimed at Republicans who are against the commission.
We have people scaling the Capitol, hitting the Capitol Police with lead pipes across the head, and we can't get bipartisanship. What else has to happen in this country?
Republicans say the commission should go beyond January 6th to investigate other political violence and demonstrations, including last summer's racial justice protests. I'm Tracy Townsend.
And the state's new Vax-A-Million lottery initiative is pushing many Ohioans to take action and get vaccinated. More from Angela Ann.
The Ohio Department of Health says ever since that promotion was launched last week, every age group, except for people over the age of 80, are seeing those increases in vaccinations. Friday, Sunday, and Monday saw the highest numbers each day in the past 4 weeks. So far, more than 1 million people have entered that state's Vax-A-Million drawing. Well, the latest data shows that overall, more than 43% of Ohioans have received at least one shot of the vaccine, and nearly 38% of Ohioans are now fully vaccinated against COVID-19. I'm Angela Ann.
And I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
304-214-1600. Call the Watchdog with your thoughts. We'll be right back to Local Talk.
Are you struggling to make payments due to an unexpected financial obligation or loss of income? Are you receiving calls from debt collectors? Are you feeling overwhelmed and unsure of what steps to take next? Then you need the experience and expertise of attorney Tom McIntyre and his staff to help guide you through these temporary hardships. Want to hear more about how Tom can help? Then call 877-456-4155 and receive a free copy of Tom's ebook, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. Tom's ebook covers many questions people have about bankruptcy and includes interesting stories about people who tried to avoid filing and people who have filed for bankruptcy. We think you'll be surprised to learn some interesting facts about bankruptcy. Call 877-456-4155.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Hey, I'm going to the kitchen. Can I grab you a Coors Light?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Huh. I never knew there was a zip line in my fridge. Hey! Hey, buddy! Yeah! You got 2 Coors Lights up there?
Always brewed down to 34 degrees. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go, 2 Coors Lights.
Awesome, man. Wow, these are really cold.
That's the only way I deliver it.
Sure, I mean, you being a mountain climber and all.
Yep.
You probably need a pretty warm coat in there, huh?
Yep.
Hey, Ben!
Yeah!
Ask him if he has any nachos.
You got any nachos in there?
No.
Just icy cold Coors Light?
Yep.
That makes sense. It is the Rockies.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster with a look at your local weather forecast for your Thursday. With intervals of clouds and sunshine, temperatures rise to about 85 for the daytime high, near 59 degrees for the overnight low under partly cloudy skies. A mix of clouds and sunshine for your Friday with highs in the mid to upper 80s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors. Keeping it real for the right, keeping it real for the left. 100% real talk is right here. Real Big Talk continues. Now on the Watchdog, here's Big Rick.
Well, I tried to make it Sunday, but I got so damn depressed that I set my sights on Monday and I got myself undressed. I ain't ready for the altar, but I do agree there's times when a woman sure can be a friend of mine. But I keep on thinking about you, sister golden hair surprise, and I just can't live without you. Can't you see it in my eyes? I've been one more correspondent, and I've been too hard to find, but it doesn't mean you ain't been on my mind.
410 here at the Watchdog. Rick and Lola with you. You know, it's just, if you watch me do the show, if you watch online or on YouTube or, if you watch through the Facebook streaming, you'll see I always have papers in front of my face. I'm still somebody that, even though I use my computer, I always have a ton of papers. And I was looking at them and I'm thinking, this is a really wonderful community, looking at all these papers. In my hand from today, I have the information about the drive-through vaccine clinic that's going to happen this Saturday at the North Wheeling Community Dream Center parking lot. Dr. Cummings was in here. I think if you are a doctor, you should be referred to as one. That's just not an easy thing to become. So Dr. Cummings was in here and talking about that, and it's a wonderful thing, an easy thing for you to do if you want to get vaccinated doing that. And also, from Tara Cruz, who we talked about quite a bit. She's been involved in a few things that we've talked about on the show, but a one-night fundraising event, June 4th. It joined forces with family and friends to raise funds for the most vulnerable in our community. It is a peer-to-peer fundraise now through June 4th, and it's a camping adventure. If you want to do have a camping adventure, campfire entertainment that night provided by YSS and friends and family on the YSS Facebook page. So you can go there and get all the information. If you want to get all the information straight from Tara, you can email her at tcrews, that's CREWS, at ysswv.com. Also, I don't want to throw everything out there at once, but I know the YWCA is having their sidewalk sale this Saturday. So this is a really great community that does a lot of nice things. I know we get people that call sometimes and talk about the way it used to be. And look, I get it. Nothing is the way it used to be. But we really have, and connected to this radio station, we have a lot of friends that do a lot of good things in this community. So go out there and support it. There's never a lack of things to do, and there's never a lack of ways to help in this community. And I think that's pretty special. So cherish that and go out there and help. This one I didn't see until just now, and I have no preconceived thoughts about it because I just saw it, but I thought it was worth mentioning. Did you see what the Chicago mayor, Lori Lightfoot, had to say yesterday?
I did not.
This is very odd. Lori Lightfoot released this tweet, and it said, I ran to break up the status quo that was failing so many. That isn't just in City Hall. It's a shame that in 2021, the City Hall press corps is overwhelmingly white in a city where more than half of the city identifies as Black, Latino, or Native American. And so she has decided that she is only going to grant one-on-one interviews to non-white reporters. That's really a dumb thing to say.
It's kind of discriminatory, wouldn't you?
I would say so. I would say so. And I thought, because honestly, when I saw this story, it was on Fox News, and I went, look, they love to light her up. And you know what? Sometimes she deserves it, and sometimes she doesn't. So I'm going to actually go look. And I went and looked, and these are legitimate tweets released from her. Like, this isn't a story that, because Fox News exaggerates. I hate to tell you, Fox fans, but they exaggerate. So does CNN. So, you don't have to fight me on any of that. You don't have to fight me on any of it. But I thought, there's no way the mayor of the third largest city in this country would say, you know what? No more white people are going to interview me. And she actually did. She actually did. And so there was another tweet from a man named Gregory Pratt. It says, I am a Latino reporter at the Chicago Tribune, which is a huge newspaper in Chicago, whose interview request was granted for today. However, I asked the mayor's office to lift its condition on others, and when they said no, we respectfully canceled. Politicians don't get to choose who covers them. Good for you, Gregory Pratt. I mean, look, you don't get to choose. Do you think, just for example, I'm just going to take it as close as we can. Mark Madden, who you hear every day on 105.9 The X, hates the Pirates and hates Bob Nutting passionately. Passionately. But he is a member of the press, and he deserves the opportunity to cover them because that's what he does for a job, and he openly rips them constantly. They don't get to choose who covers them. Well, I'm sorry, but that same thing rolls into politics, and it certainly rolls into denomination and color. I mean, that's absurd. I can't believe if this happened in some town somewhere that nobody looked at, you might get a little bit of a rumbling. This happened in Chicago. And I get it. Chicago is an extremely diverse place. But I don't think you can say this without backlash, at least.
She should have taken a stand with, if she really had a problem with it, taken a stand with the news outlets there and, pushed for that. I mean, and she could do that.
Yeah.
She could publicly say what she said in the first one, that the bulk of the reporters that are sent to cover a press conference or interview me are primarily white. It would be to your best interest to have a more diverse media coverage than you have. And leave it at that. It's not up to her to decide who gets to do what. It's up to the media outlets as to who they want to assign to cover her.
You're 1,000% right.
Good on that guy for saying, forget it, I'm not going.
I couldn't agree more. If think about it and take it to, again, maybe it's a sports level, but I think a similar way. The Rooneys didn't come out and say, I'm only hiring black coaches from now on. They helped create a rule in the NFL called the Rooney Rule that gives more opportunities for black coaches. Well, they hired a black guy, and he's been an incredibly successful coach. If the next time around when they go to hire, they're obviously going to make sure that minority candidates get looked at. Lori Lightfoot could have just said, look, Chicago Tribune, you should probably add more diverse staffing. Look, local whatever. I mean, if someone's covering you in Chicago, there's a lot of people involved in that. There's probably more than one reporter from the Chicago Tribune. I mean,
absolutely.
Let's face it. I mean, they're going to send multiple people. If you want to see a more, and she wasn't calling them out, the Chicago Tribune necessarily, but I hate to say this, but I think it needs to be said. If Chicago had a white mayor and said something in the reverse, what would happen? What would happen? I just, to me, she is tone deaf on this one, real tone deaf.
I would venture to say, wasn't Rahm Emanuel mayor there? He had something to do with Chicago. A white mayor would never make a statement like that.
Never. Certainly not of a I mean, look, if that happened in, some podunk towns in out west that there were 19 people that lived in, and we heard that, we'd go, not shocking. This is Chicago. Honestly, good on Fox News for calling her out, because this is wrong. This is absolutely wrong. And I get it, she takes a lot of heat, but I think some of that heat she brings on herself. And this is certainly one of those things.
She doesn't make the most sensitive of statements a lot of times. There have been a lot of things that she has said or done that I thought, what's up with this? So,
yeah, no, I thought that statement was really tone deaf.
I love Chicago. I adore Chicago.
I could see you being a Chicago person.
Oh,
I totally could. Old style. You're going to drink old style in Chicago. Same buddy that's drinking hams this week for the Penguins also once got hammered up on old style when he went to the outdoor game in Chicago. It was pretty good. But yeah, I just thought I thought that whole thing was just incredibly tone deaf. We got somebody on the line?
It's Larry.
Hey, Larry, what's on your mind?
Well, what you were talking about there, Gordon Lightfoot's sister. Lori, isn't it?
It's Lori Lightfoot, yeah.
Lori Lightfoot, yeah. No relation to Gordon Lightfoot.
I don't believe so, no.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just wondering when this was said and this was all done, where was Al Sharptongue?
Well, that's like I said. If you heard the beginning of if you heard the beginning of the statement, I just saw this when we were at the break because I scroll my social feed. So I did not see this yesterday. So to have all the background information on it, I don't. What I saw was a post from Fox News calling her out for it, and I thought, there's no way she said that because that's really, really tone deaf. And then I went and looked, and there's actual tweets from her saying exactly that. And I thought, I can't believe you would. Why would you do that?
Well, because nobody's going to say anything about it, except you and me, maybe, or a few other people, but not that many people is going to say or do anything.
Well, that was kind of the point. Was this? I mean, a Latino reporter for the Chicago Tribune was like, "This is wrong, and you shouldn't do this." And his interview request was accepted, and he is. I mean, if you look at his picture, he is Latino, and he says, "I'm Latino," so they knew that and I'm sure they know exactly who's coming to interview the mayor of Chicago. So they knew he was Latino. They accepted his opportunity to come and interview her. And then when they said, we would like for you to lift the conditions on the reporters that are allowed to interview you, her office said no. So he politely declined and canceled the interview. I mean, I think this upset more than just white reporters. I think this made everybody mad and went, this again is compacting the problem that we have in this country. Just because it's in the reverse doesn't mean it doesn't compact the issue.
That's right. But it's been that way for a long, long time. If more and more people don't speak up and did what the Latino reporter did, it's going to get even worse. My hat's off to him. Kudos and whatever they say today. Or kudos, I guess. That's
Kudos doesn't go out of style. You can go kudos.
Yeah, kudos, yeah. Well, that's wonderful. I wish more people would stand up and speak their mind in this matter. Yeah.
I think we're going to see that. Like I said, this story just kind of came out yesterday, but it's really growing legs today. And I think you're going to probably see that. Now, here's what ultimately is going to happen with this. Is this a big deal? Yes, I think it is a big deal. I think it's a bigger deal than a couple of tweets, for sure. But now we are going to see. We're going to see people that don't need to intervene in this intervene in it just because they have to take up, I'm sure there's going to be a Republican representative from Illinois who says how ridiculous this is. And then there's going to be a Democrat who said, well, there's actually is a problem in the press corps. Well, if there's a problem in the press corps, that's the press's problem. It's not the mayor's problem. She doesn't get to determine who reports what mayoral things she's doing.
Right. That's exactly right. She doesn't get to decide that. Never should.
No,
I appreciate you bringing this up.
No, you're welcome.
Really?
I mean, when it comes down to the end of the day, everybody, every business is held to, different or the same hiring practices. Equal opportunity employers. What needs to be met? What need to be met? If the best reporter that you find is not somebody who pleases the mayor, but you still need to hire the best reporter that you find. That should be the most important thing. Now, if someone comes at you, whether they're white, black, or any purple, and doesn't report you correctly, then yeah, you can say this reporter is not someone who's quoting me correctly and call them out. But calling somebody out who, for just simply the color of their skin, to me is the definition of racism. I mean, that's racist.
It is. Yes, that's right. It is. That's always going to be. That's always going to be. No, that's never going to be eliminated. People talk that it should be and it might be, and it is never going to be. Never.
No,
sorry to say, but it won't.
Well, I'm the eternal optimist. I have faith that we can be better. I do. I have faith that we can be better and treat each other better. I do. But at the end of the day, if you want racism to stop, it has to stop in both directions. It has to stop in both directions. It's not just
cockeyed optimist. You.
I know. So trust me. Everybody that knows me wonders how I can maintain this level of optimism. But I do. I do because you know why I maintain this level of optimism? Because
how is that?
I actually involve myself in my life in different cultures and different people that I don't look at any differently than I look at anyone else. And I think that is why. I don't know if you were listening earlier. We had Dr. Cummings in. I mean, you want to talk about somebody that I wish called me every morning and just gave me a little pep talk. I mean, that guy is he seems the eternal optimist.
He is. Yes, he is. And he does great work, too. Just marvelous things that the man is doing. My hat's off to him, too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I guess I try to surround myself with people in my personal life and in my professional life that I don't care what culture or color or anything like that they are. I just go, you know what? These people are good, so I want them in my life. And so that is why I am that, cockeyed optimist. I think that truly, when I look at the people I surround myself with, I go, I have faith that other people can find a better way to treat one another. But really, you know what it takes? Going out there and finding it. Because every opportunity that you want to seek in your life, doesn't matter what your situation is, color, age, sex, religion, and nothing. Every opportunity you want to find in your life to be happy, you have to go out and find. It doesn't just flow to you. And that's part of it. That's part of it. It takes a lot of work to be optimistic in this world. But I try. I try daily to be optimistic. And there are days where I come in here and they're harder than others. Today, the sun is shining. There's beautiful things happening in this community for other people to help people. We have topics. We've got phone lines. I had a nice lunch, and we are having a good show. That, to me, is the definition of optimism for May 20th, 2021.
I'm getting misty-eyed.
Well, you know what? Look, I find the joy in it. I love what I do. I love that someone lets me come in here and talk for 3 hours every day. I enjoy the person that I work with very much. I enjoy the people around me. So, yeah, I am. I'm optimistic. And, you know, someday it's probably going to kick me in the ass, but I'm going to keep doing it.
No, yeah. I doubt that.
No, I mean, I hope it doesn't, but again, you know, every day kind of ebb and flows. But, yeah, that's why I'm optimistic about it. I know we can treat each other better because I see it. I see it. I wish it was on a grander scale, but I see it. I see it every day.
All right, very good. I've learned a lot here today, and I'm feeling better about the world.
Good. But trust me, if I could give you that little bit of, even if it lasts 5 minutes, I feel good about that. So I appreciate it.
All right. But nice talking.
Yeah, same to you. We'll talk to you soon.
You have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I don't know, Lola. Dr. Cummings must have left a little of that power of positivity in here for me because I just.
I guess.
But I don't know that. I don't think that I'm wrong. I think it's good to be optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I can see why. I can see why I'm optimistic. There's so much good things out there. You just got to look for them sometimes. I mean, put it this way: the media's job is to make you not feel optimistic. My job is at least be real with you and at least try to bring a little optimism into the world, but call things out when I see them. Lori Lightfoot, wrong on this subject. Wrong, for sure. We'll go ahead and take a break here. Seems like a good point to stop.
Okay.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a good point to stop, and we'll take that break. We'll come back. We'll stick with some lighter things as we get into the downhill part of the show right here on the Watchdog.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. West Virginia 1st District Congressman David McKinley is explaining his vote today to form a January 6th commission in connection with the riot at the U.S. Capitol. In a statement to Metro News, McKinley says the events of that day were both horrific and cannot be ignored. McKinley was one of only 35 Republicans who supported the plan, which passed the House overwhelmingly. You can read McKinley's full statement at wvmetronews.com. Governor Jim Justice says his website is now open for those between the ages of 16 and 35 to sign up for either a $100 savings bond or a $100 gift card for being fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Justice says the program is both a reward and an incentive.
Not only are you picking up a few extra bucks here, but you may very well have saved your life or saved others, and we're going to continue with this program. And absolutely, we want all the 16 to 35-year-olds to get vaccinated. We need you to get vaccinated right now.
The governor's website is governor.wv.gov. Governor Justice also announcing today the reopening of senior centers across the state. He says certain guidelines will have to be followed, but those gathering places have been given the green light to reopen. And the governor is scheduled to join State Parkways Authority Director Jeff Miller for an announcement this hour detailing a new marketing initiative for the West Virginia Turnpike. The announcement will take place at Tamarack and Beckley. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Hot weather is here to stay, at least for now. National Weather Service meteorologist Kara Gregg.
Looks like it'll be pretty much for most of the area in the upper 80s for much of the next, looks like into the middle of next week.
Temperatures are into the middle 80s this afternoon in much of the state. The sale of the Charleston Town Center Mall is now official. The deeds were officially filed today in the Kanawha County Clerk's Office. Georgia-based Whole Property Group has made that purchase. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on the Watchdog. I'm John Thayer. Wizards are set to host the Indiana Pacers tonight. It's win or go home in the final NBA play-in game. The 8th seed up for grabs between the Wizards and the Pacers. Pacers are 34-38 on the season. Washington, same record, 34-38 on the season. The loser season will come to an end, while the winner will advance to take on the East #1 seed, the Philadelphia 76ers. Tonight's game will be featured on TNT. In the NHL playoffs tomorrow night, the Boston Bruins and Washington Capitals in Boston. Bruins lead the series 2-1. Yankees pitcher Corey Kluber no-hit the Texas Rangers yesterday. It is the 6th no-hitter this Major League Baseball season. Download the Score app today, lightning fast sports alerts, so you never miss a thing. I'm John Thayer with the Sports Flash, powered by the Score on the Watchdog.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
Check it out, Limu, a roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Look! An emu wearing sunglasses!
Limu, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. For the ones who get going when the going gets tough. And the ones who know we're tougher together. For the Pathfinders breaking new ground. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as fast access to experts and 24/7 customer support. Because we know you have people depending on you, so you can always depend on us. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Millions plan for retirement online. Estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, and manage your benefits all from the comfort of your home. And give yourself the freedom to do what you want offline. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
The Ohio Valley would like to welcome Airgas USA to the tri-state area, your one-stop shop for all your welding and safety needs. Airgas is the United States' largest distributor of industrial, medical, and specialty gases and related equipment, products, and services. Airgas carries more than 36,000 safety and welding products. Check out airgas.com with free ship to store on over 200,000 items. Or stop in to see us at 2208 Warwood Avenue. Mention this ad for an additional 20% off your first purchase. Some exclusions.
Rural King's pet food prices has pet lovers going, wow! Rural King offers the lowest prices on pet foods every day, like Diamond Naturals dog food. Made with ingredients of exceptional quality, Diamond Naturals dog foods provide complete holistic nutrition for that four-legged family member. Get a 40-pound bag of Diamond Naturals lamb or chicken and rice for just $28.69. Nobody beats that price. This is available in stores only at your neighborhood Rural King, America's farm and home store.
You think buckling up is a personal choice? That it doesn't hurt anyone else? You would be wrong. Your choice could shatter the lives of your family, friends, and everyone you know. That's why we enforce seatbelt laws, to save lives. Think about that every time you drive. Buckling up isn't just a good idea, it's a choice between surviving a crash or not. Make sure you and everyone in the vehicle buckles up every time. Click it or ticket. Paid for by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, so come in and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you need, like a gas model RAV with up to $1,250 cash back, or a Camry with up to $1,750 cash back, or go with a Corolla and take up to $2,000 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great offers, to check out local inventory, and to find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Offers vary for hybrid models. See your dealer for details. Offers end June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places. Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, but where it goes is up to you. So come in and save big on the car, truck, or SUV you need to take on anything the season has in store, like a spacious Highlander or an all-wheel drive Venza hybrid, both with up to $750 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com for more great offers, to check out local inventory, and to find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. See your dealer for details. Offers end June 1st. Toyota. Let's go places.
Washington County's largest gun show is back on Saturday and Sunday, June 19th and 20th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Washington County Fairgrounds. Admission is $7 and kids under 12 get in free with an adult. Everyone is welcome. They offer free appraisals and have great prices on all types of firearms, modern, military, and antique. They have over 450 tables with cash buyers on site for your used guns. Visit arhsportshop.com, or you can give them a call at 724-948-3571 for more information. That's 724-948-3571. 888-3571 for more information. It's the Washington County Gun Show, presented by ARH Sports Shop, June 19th and 20th. The Variety Show with Bill DeFabio is live on the Watchdog Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. We talk to some of the region's best business owners while keeping you informed about area events and happenings. You won't believe who I have on next. Tune in and get with the program. Guests from preachers to pros and even some Super Bowl champions. Join me, Bill DeFabio, from noon to 2 for The Variety Show on the Watchdog.
It was 1989, my thoughts were short, my hair was long. Caught somewhere between a boy and man. She was 17 and she was far from in between. It was summertime in northern Michigan. Splashing through the sandbar, talking by the campfire. It's the simple things in life, like when and where. We didn't have no internet, but man, I never will forget the way the moonlight shined upon her hair. And we were trying different things, and we were smoking funny things, making love out by the lake to our favorite song, sipping whiskey out the bottle.
What a perfect song. Just took a quick peek outside, and it is absolutely gorgeous out there. Wonderful. I can't not hear Warren Zevon though when you hear that song. It's just there. I mean, it samples Warren Zevon and Leonard Skinner, and boy, they're both so prominent. But Kid Rock did a great job of mixing them all together. It's a fun song to listen to. You're not going to believe this, Lola, but everything I was reading just went away. That is not good. That's not good at all. Oh no, where did my everything just left?
It's on the cloud.
Yeah, really.
It's in the air. Just conjure it up. You'll be able to.
Yes, yeah, I would be lovely if I was able to do it. Did you see last night? I know you're probably not watching a whole lot of NBA, but did you see the absolute flop by LeBron? Ugh.
Flop. I thought you were going to talk about the one from downtown.
I mean, there was some great, but I mean, LeBron just flopped. I think it's funny when people get mad that people don't like LeBron. It's like, why wouldn't you like him? Why wouldn't you like him? I just don't like him. I'm allowed to not like him. Politically, I don't care what he has to say, but as a basketball player, I don't like him either. And it's because he's never going to be Jordan. And I hate that. I hate that. LeBron's not better than Jordan. I'd take Jordan in a game against LeBron right now. I'd still take Jordan. Maybe that's stupid, but I still would.
I would too.
I will die on the hill of Michael Jordan being the best basketball player that I've ever seen in my lifetime. I mean, and it's hard. There's some good ones out there, but man, it is so hard to think that Michael Jordan isn't absolutely the best. By the way, if you are into the NBA and you want to get on all the action, FanDuel is going to hook you up. The play-in tournament continues, and teams are getting that last shot to make the playoffs. But everyone can bet on this round risk-free on FanDuel Sportsbook. It doesn't matter if you're new to FanDuel or you already have an account. So this is huge, everybody that's already got the account. FanDuel has teamed up with basketball legends Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith to make sure that you will get your money back if you don't win. That's any user, any bet, any game. Any game. So if you already have an account, you still have this risk-free bet opportunity. The NBA play-in tournament is going down until the 21st. So FanDuel just made it even more exciting. It's all part of FanDuel's Play-in Palooza. So if you already have a sportsbook account, just go open the app and opt in to claim your free, risk-free bet. And if you're new to FanDuel, sign up with promo code RIC. That's RIC, promo code RIC. RIC to get your first risk-free bet up to $1,000. That is exclusively on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. 21 and present in West Virginia. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. New user risk-free bet for first real money wager only, and refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 14 days. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call or visit www.1800gambler.net. Yeah, LeBron to me just absolutely flopped last night. And that's why I can't get behind. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Because I think he does really nice things. I mean, he's got that whole school thing going on in the bike program that he does in Akron. There's a lot of things to like about what he does. I just can't do it. I do like Charles Barkley, though, and this was kind of cool. I read this morning that he gave a $1,000 gift to every person in his high school that he went to. Just every employee, here's $1,000. And when you got Charles money, I guess you can do that. It's funny to think how impactful Charles Barkley has been in the NBA, but yet never mentioned. If you name the top 10 greatest basketball players of all time, I don't know that Charles Barkley would be in there. I think of the 90s, yeah, I think he's definitely in there. But of all time, he's not. But boy, he is still somebody that rattles a lot of cages in the NBA, and I'm here for it. I am pro Barkley. There is no doubt about that. Let's get into some of the lighter parts of the news. Although we're going to take one more break before we're done. Yeah, we'll take one more. All right,
quick one.
All right, we'll go for a couple minutes and we'll take a break. I did see that Troy Polamalu, and I'm sure Bill's talked about this at one point, has asked Dick LeBeau to be his to put him into the Hall of Fame.
I did hear that.
Yeah. And when I read what Troy Polamalu had to say, he was basically being such a great player, giving credit to Dick LeBeau, and just said, just tell me what to do. Dick LeBeau is one of those people that will be thought of in NFL lore forever as far as his coaching ability goes. His head coaching ability did not go so well. But my goodness, as a defensive coordinator, I think if you ask anybody who is the best defensive coordinator that the NFL has ever had, just defensive coordinator, I think a lot of people would come back with Dick LeBeau. It doesn't hurt that the personnel that he had to send out there when the Steelers' defense was so dominant. I mean, could you imagine getting Troy Polamalu and going, that's my guy? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's funny because everybody that hates the Steelers, if you ask them, like, well, is there any Steeler you ever liked? The answer is Troy Polamalu. Always. And how could you not? So it will be really interesting to, not only will the Hall of Fame induction ceremony in Cleveland or Canton be very interesting this year, but Dick LeBeau will be the one who enshrines Troy Polamalu. You know what I'm interested to see, and I've not seen it yet? I did see Alan Faneca's, but I want to see Troy Polamalu's bust. You have to figure, I mean, what is Troy's signature? Yeah. Troy's signature is big, curly locks of hair. That might be the biggest bust in the Hall of Fame.
That's good.
Yeah. Boy, I think it's going to be, I think that's going to be a fun thing to see. Have you ever watched the process of how they make those?
No.
It's a really neat process. It is a really neat process, and they kind of develop like a couple of them, and you get to pick which one you think most represents who you are. And I can't imagine. I don't even want it, because, I mean, Polamalu did pull his hair back, but I don't want that. I want it to be full Troy. I want it to go absolutely full Troy. We'll stay in the odd stuff here. This is odd. I think it's ridiculous, but then again, I guess it's just because it appeals to me or pronouns me or whatever. Penn State is going to remove the idea of people being freshmen or underclassmen. Yes, apparently being a freshman is not okay for incoming students who are, incoming students that are female or don't identify as male.
Oh, that's,
Uh-huh.
I thought it was just like the thing where they changed all the street signs to no outlet because they didn't want kids growing up on something that said dead end.
I didn't see that. Is that really a thing?
Oh, yeah, and that's years ago. Yeah.
I did not realize that's why.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, my.
No outlet.
I didn't realize that.
Which I guess is just as demoralizing as dead end. No outlet, you're not going to get out.
Yeah. Why don't you just write trapped? Just put trapped on a sign. You're trapped. Trapped back here. Yeah. Well, that's what Penn State's doing. No more freshmen or underclassmen. They don't want to offend. I have no idea. They don't know. They don't know. Incoming, first year, probably first year is my guess. First year, second year, third year, fourth year. If you're me, you're fifth year. Will it ever end?
No.
By the way, Penn State is certainly not the picture of the place that you go, you know who is really in tune to every need of their students?
Yeah.
Penn State University.
Yeah.
I mean, you still think, I mean, Penn State will forever be linked in my generation with one of the most, heinous things to happen in college sports. I did read the other day that due to some bad paperwork done by the state of Pennsylvania, Jerry Sandusky got a $95,000 break on fines. Yeah, bad paperwork. Why is that guy? I mean, I know, the whole subject is terrible. But again, I feel like Penn State has, is that the way to go, you know what, we're the most inclusive school you can go to. We won't call you a freshman if you're not an actual man. Too much. It's too much. This is too much. I know. It is. It's absolutely too much. We'll take this quick break. We'll come back and we'll finish off the show with some of the lighter stuff. Any comments you want to get in, 304-214-1600. You got about 8 minutes to get those comments in before the end of the show. We'll be happy to take your calls on the Watchdog.
This is Bill DeFabio, your host of the Variety Show with Bill DeFabio. Heard on the Watchdog Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Join me from noon till 2 to talk sports, nostalgia, and hear from some of the legends of the game. You won't believe who I have on next. The Bill DeFabio Variety Show, heard on the Watchdog Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Tune in and get with the program. I'm Bill DeFabio. Join me for the Variety Show on the Watchdog.
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Babies come with lots of decisions.
Cloth or disposable? Crib or bassinet?
So when it comes to protection, go with the safest, most effective choice, vaccination. Get all the recommended vaccines for your baby by age 2 to protect your child against 14 serious childhood diseases. For more reasons to vaccinate, talk to your child's doctor. Go to cdc.gov/vaccines or call 800-CDC-INFO. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Oh, there's something so real about living local. And I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I'm loving living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Said I'm loving living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
Getting ready to wrap up the show here. Real Big Talk on the Watchdog. Rick and Lola. There's so many things on the sheet today that we didn't get to. I did want to mention, I saw an ad for the Oglebay Good Zoo.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go pet sloths and red pandas. And I'm going to call them tomorrow and see if they will set up a time to bring in a sloth here to do the show with us. Because I want a sloth hanging off of me while we talk. I wonder if they'll do that. I mean, there's got to be somebody, right? I mean, they have handlers. I want to meet a sloth. Maybe I'll just go there. Maybe if they'll let me go there, I'll just take my camera and film it. I just think it's the coolest thing. I've never done it.
You can set up a time to interact with a lot of different animals. My niece is so into sloths that I'm kind of checking to see about how much it would be to book her that for her birthday.
Oh, that'd be a huge birthday gift. How much fun! I'm going to call him. I'm going to call him tomorrow and see if there's any way they do any media type stuff. Because I saw the picture and I was like, oh, I want to do that. We had
an armadillo in here one time.
Nice.
Which was fascinating. I mean, little thing just curled up in this little protective ball, and it was neat.
I wish I had the same makeup as an armadillo. I'd like to roll up into a little protective ball sometimes and just call it a day.
I know.
But yeah, I'm definitely gonna call about that. Here's a fun one from one animal to another. I can't wait I can't wait for football to start so much just because I can't wait to hear your reactions to this new coach. Lions coach Dan Campbell wants a real lion at practice.
Cool.
He wants to have a real lion letting these guys know what it's like to be a lion.
Hey.
Anything could help her.
Lance Parrish's rookie card was him in his, catcher's stuff with his hand on a Bengal tiger's head, which was the most awesome card I've ever seen, and of course somewhere in all the millions of moves I've made. I've lost it, but yeah, give him some inspiration.
He wants to bring a tiger.
Let him feed that lion some red meat.
Do you want him to throw meat while they play?
Absolutely. You're not running fast enough and start pitching nuggets out there.
Yes.
I think it's awesome.
The reason we get this roster down to 53 men is because the 54th gets eaten. Everybody get on the line. Start running.
That's right.
You don't have to you don't have to outrun everybody. You just have to outrun this tiger or this lion. Here you go. I think that would be.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, that is going to be an interesting look for the Lions this year. Ben Roethlisberger's teammates seem to believe that he still has the goods, although many, like myself, believe that he does not. Should I be more optimistic and believe that the teammates know better than I, or is that just the company line because they have to say that?
That's what I was going to say. What are they supposed to say? If you're a wide receiver or anything, you're going to say he doesn't? You'll never see that ball.
No.
You will never see that ball.
No, that was a response from Cam Hayward, who obviously isn't waiting for the ball from Roethlisberger. But yeah, I mean, all the teammates are like, "Oh yeah, he's still got it. He's still got it." Well, where was it last year? What makes me think a year older is going to make him a year better? Look, I'd love to see it. I walk off into the sunset with a Lombardi Trophy, pal. Nobody will be happier than I. I just feel like it's not there. I feel like it's not there. But again, I don't see him every day.
That's why they play the game.
That is why they play the game. Wednesday afternoon football coming to a season near you.
Oh, no.
And no, I don't want that. I refuse. I refuse to do another show while Wednesday afternoon football is on. It was too hard to try to do both. There is so much stuff on this list we didn't get to. So we'll get to some of those things tomorrow. But it's going to be a Friday. The weather is nice. Get out there. Enjoy your lives. Be kind to each other.
Go mow a lawn.
Go mow a lawn. Get off my lawn. Lola and I will talk to you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Have a great evening, everybody from the Watchdog.